You can't hear me. There you go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Anyways, so those of you who got to watch the live stream last night, good for you, because you'll be the only ones to watch it. I woke this morning and I got hit with a copyright strike. I was like, or copyright, sorry, not strike, copyright infringement on my account. Okay, that's kind of, I don't know, whatever. I'm used to them. They keep hitting my account with that. That's fine. Demonetized the channel, done everything. But they went next level just a few minutes ago where they banned the video because of the copyright. And I've never seen this before. So I'll just show you what I got in the mail. Where is it here? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's having a good day. We'll just throw these in here. There we go. Okay, something like that, and something like that, and then something like this. Boom, 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 boom. Probably can't see that. So I got hit with this. There were three. There was one before this as well. Then there was this one. Let's see. There was one here. Bang. Then I got hit with another one. Bang. This happened the other night too. And then, so I click on view details, and they blocked it. They banned this video because I played a little clip out of CBC Hug Club. They banned the entire video. So I'm going to try and upload it somewhere else. I'm having some issues moving files around on my computer, which is rather odd. I can download a file, but then I can't move it from the download folder. I'm not sure what that's about. However, clearly I'm pissing some people off because this is something I've never seen before. I'm kind of used to the other stuff. I mean, as you can probably see in my box, I mean, they keep hitting me with copyright nonsense, videos removed, blah, blah, blah. But this is something entirely different, where clearly somebody's gone through. Usually what they would do is just say, well, listen, you know, we're going to pay the revenue of your video, to which there's none because my channel, as you can see, is demonetized and has been for some time. So, but they would pay whatever revenue, if they could get anything off of it, to CBC, but they didn't. What they're saying is, because you played that clip, we're going to block your video. So somebody in CBC, I think, has registered a complaint. That would be this part here, Gary the Hug Club, which is found for how long? Oh yes, that would be right. 1 minute and 16 seconds. So they blocked the entire video for 1 minute and 16 seconds, which was used in an educational fashion and is totally, you can use stuff like that, but they're going to ban my video because I used it. I think that's somebody over at CBC who is upset, clearly. And so I think we're going to have to be a little bit careful from this point forward about using anything from CBC, which is rather unfortunate because there's some interesting stuff. And maybe it's the fact that I talked about the fact that they were editing Clinton's video, Clinton Ellison's video, or that they edited the RCMP's live stream, went back and re-edited it again, even though it just wants to show it as a live stream. So really getting screwed over here. I don't know what I can do. I think I downloaded the video, I believe. Let's see if I got it. Show all downloads. Doodaloo, multiple patients. Yes, here, I did download it. So I will re-upload it on BitChute. I believe I have the link down on I'll stick it in there. I don't even know BitChute. I don't know any of this nonsense. I'll try and figure it out and throw it over there, because it was a really great video. In fact, I would say it's probably one of the best I've done in a long time. It was Adrian and I talking about stuff, and there was a lot of just general talk about where are we going to go as a people, and the fact that we're totally, bombarded with this trauma all the time, and make us feel powerless, that we can't do anything, when in reality we actually can. And I think that scares them. I think that scares them to get the message out. The average Joe on the street has a lot of power, even though, you're getting hit with COVID trauma and you're getting hit with all this nonsense, complete bollocks. And so because I say you can stand up for yourself, we can sue people, we can actually try some different tactics here. They're going to go through and ban that video because I'm talking about the RCMP. Fuck you, man. Don't touch my shit. It's educational. I'm sick and tired of YouTube, screwing with me, banning videos repeatedly after repeatedly. And what are they doing here? They toilet the channel. They've been doing that forever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It just really pisses me off that you're literally gonna ban a video because I used for educational purposes 1 minute, 16 seconds of CBC's stuff. Isn't CBC the people's broadcaster? Shouldn't I be allowed to use it? What, do they own it? Are they generating revenue? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Unbelievable. It was a super video. Adrian and I had a great talk. There was people in there, we were having a super chat. Of course, you're never going to see the chat, right? Because I can't upload that. That's gone. Unbelievable, these people. So I was going to do a short video, because I want to ask for people's help. We got to organize this stuff better, people. We really do. I'm a very disorganized person by nature. So I was talking with Steve this morning. I'm sure Adrian equally is on board. I'm pretty certain of that. Kage is probably right in there. What we need to do here is I need a list of people who are willing to research, not tinfoil, no tinfoil, not tunnels, not kids, research the RCMP. I need a list of people that are willing to do this, specifically the Portapic thing, because we got to get a good file of organized material so that Steve, Adrian, I, Kage, all of us, we can work together, develop a video that we can both show other people, other YouTubers, so that we'll ask their opinions. Steve, great idea. Show other people, other YouTubers this video and say, listen, who we don't normally have contact with, do you see a problem with this? And if you do, can you please, let your people know? So that we get more people, we increase that way, and equally, we have something that we can give to a lawyer. And then from there, we can crowdfund. And hopefully other YouTubers will support that. For a lawyer, put the money in trust with a lawyer. It's no Corvette fund here, nothing going on like that. It's going straight to the lawyer for a class action suit against the RCMP. And get family members, organized and stuff like that. This is up to us. Action, people, action. So if you're willing to do some research, this is what we're going to do. But again, I don't want to go with tinfoil or any of this. And we've got to put our political stuff aside on this one, because this affects all the people, right? So if you can, in the comments, I know some of you, Ozzy, I know you, we've got kind of a rough list of people who have done a lot of hard work here, a rough list, but just leave me in the comments below, you are willing to do it, and some way that I can contact you, hopefully over on Twitter, and then we can do that, right? I'll just contact you. We'll get us all organized. We'll get a Zoom meeting going. We can schedule and divvy out tasks. And then, you know, say Ozzy has, let's just hypothetically say, Ozzy has Weber. And all Ozzy's going to do is find out all the information on Weber. And everybody that's got already research on Weber sends it over Ozzy's direction. You following me? Everybody's got a task. And then we put all that information together. So I want people to, please, if you're willing to, you have to have the time. And again, I don't want to go into tinfoil stuff because tinfoil stuff is no good for a lawyer. It's absolutely useless. Plus, it'll turn some people right off. But if you're just looking at the facts as they're presented, then and I'm terrible with names and all this other stuff. I really am. But hopefully we can get something, and that's what I'm asking for. And if they want to, is blocked over here in the UK. Hey, Andy, awesome. UK viewer, right on, brother. Yeah, no, they blocked it. They blocked it worldwide for a 1 minute, 16 second, you know, and I don't want to bitch and moan and gripe. They literally do this all the time to me, but this is next level. Next level. Usually what happens is they'll hit you with the copyright, and what that means is then, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, here, I'll show you another one. I'll show you the one that was before. Oh, it has been blocked. Oh, no, is this a different one? This is not a copyright strike, does not affect your account status, What's next? No problems. They're just going to send the money or whatever the fuck it is over to whoever, right? They would send it over to CBC, but CBC's gone next level and said, block the fucking video. Block it. Don't want that video out there. The People's Broadcaster. Are we out of our minds here? Of course, again, I would say RCMP, CBC, all wings of the same institution that wants to take you down that isn't working for you. That's the government. No broadcaster of the people is going to want to remove material that's, it should be free for all, right? We pay for it, for fuck's sake. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot about that. So I'll try and figure out the tech nonsense and get it over on BitChute. I think I do have a BitChute account. They don't even like half my videos over there. When I tried to upload them, they're like, oh, can't, blah. I don't know. Let's see, BitChute. And I have to try and keep my live stream strike nonsense at bay. Obviously, if they, I don't want to say that because I don't want to jinx myself. If they give me a strike, well, I'm out, right? I can't live stream then. And live streaming is the only way right now that we can do this. So, hey, from New Brunswick. Awesome. Point Fire D, Mac. Faye Knox. Happy Mother's Day. Lots of moms out there. So again, please, if you are interested, and it is a commitment of time. If you're willing to do research and stuff like that, please leave me a Twitter contact below in the box, and we'll try and get it organized. Okay? So anyway, I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. Hey, Mercer. Who knows? They'll probably try and block this video for, I don't know, showing Gmail or some nonsense now. I've never seen this. I've never seen this. I mean, you stick me in interstitial state, okay, I can't link the video. I can't, you know, there's tons of videos on my account that you will never see, even though right now they're all registered as private because I started getting attacked. I knew there were people, trolls on my account. I don't know. I don't think they were trolls. I think there were people who were upset with some of the things that I was saying, possibly politically. But then, so I just made all my videos private, but there were a lot in that list that you will never see unless you have the actual link, and you can't go around and share that link because there's no share button. There's no like button. There's no dislike button. There's no comments. There's no nothing. That's called interstitial. They throw videos in there. They're basically Orwellian hold, even though I've never, it says quite clearly, well, you haven't really broken any rules. You haven't done anything we don't like. The agreement that you signed to, that we signed to, that YouTube signed to, they have a fucking side to uphold too, which is that you put the video out. And if I don't break your rules, you can't do fuck all to me. But they keep doing it. So, there's my Mother's Day rant. I'm so, because that video was good. That video honestly was a great video. And I think that's exactly what upsets them. Empowering people, making them realize that you guys, we, all of us have power. CBC doesn't want you to know that. RCMP don't want you to know that. Your government doesn't want you to know that. The bankers that own and run this fucking goddamn country and world don't want you to know that. They want you to be lemmings, zombies, standing on dots, wearing masks. It's not funny, people. We've really gone downhill here. So to mention that is upsetting to this Gestapo, Stasi, fucking elitist garbage that runs this world. Because I'm not calling for violent overthrow or anything nonsense. I'm calling for people to use what's within the rights, within the law, and go with it. They don't like that. Don't like that. Maybe I should put my overpriced PI license to use. What is my Twitter account? I'll leave my Twitter account right now. Sorry, I didn't put any of those details in. I just was ticked right off. Who knows? They'll ban this account too, probably, like they did all my other ones. There you go. There's my Twitter. So if you're interested in doing the research, again, we've got to leave the tinfoil aside. We want just facts. We want people that are willing to do the commitment. The commitment, you got to send me your contact information so somehow we can coordinate this. I will get a Zoom account. Even though Zoom is completely co-opted, all this stuff is. It doesn't matter. They're all monitoring everything. I will get a Zoom account, and we can meet in that Zoom room. The people that are willing to do the work, once we have it, set up, and then each person has one thing that they're researching. Everybody who has already researched stuff on that, we'll send it to that one person. And then we'll kind of come together and have a meeting about, several meetings, obviously, what we've come across, and file all the stuff and stuff. Who's what? Hello, Mark's in here. Leo's in here. Awesome. Hello, guys. Protest in progress. Where's the protest? Protest. People are just fed up. Fed up. And you can channel this frustration into action, not into talking. I'm sick and tired of fucking talking. I've been talking for years. Years. Preaching the same message. But what does talk do? Talk does nothing if you don't have action. If you're willing to do stuff, fine. That I respect. I have a lot more respect for somebody who is willing to step up and do something about it. And frankly, I think there are a lot of people who are willing to do stuff. You know, does it cost money? Does it cost time? Does it cost all kinds of other things? Personal relationships, blah, blah, blah. Sure it does. If you believe in it strong enough. And I have an end vision. I have an end vision. I'm sure all of you share that end vision for the most part. We all disagree about, you know, this or that and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. But we all want a moral society. We want government that represents us. You know, this kind of stuff. This whole system is fucking screwed, man. Screwed. Bankers own every fucking thing, man. They run this world. And they have been enslaving us for years. Gotta stop it, man. I'm still trying to figure out where the protest is. Sorry for my foul language and stuff. I honestly get tired. If there's a live feed of something, what did you dude, I have passion. You want to see it. You get me fired up. I get fighting mad. And I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of the words. I'm tired of the talk. I'm tired of the fluid and dynamic and the fucking newspeak garbage. Get out of here. Get out of here. Quit. You take your think tanks and your psychological warfare. You're traumatizing the people for generations. You're enslaving us financially. And fuck you, man. Fuck you. I fight. I have always fought. And I don't give up. And I know some of you in here, and probably most all of you, will do the same. But the time for talking, it's over. So I want to sue the shit out of these people. Let them quake. Their own system, they built it, fine. I'll use your goddamn weapons on you. Just like it's been done in the past. What did you miss? Nah, this is what you missed. Blocking last night's video. Because I played 1 minute and 16 seconds of your public broadcaster. These are the people that blocked me. Your public broadcaster blocked me. Unbelievable. But they're angry. I'm sure they're angry because, you know, in their back rooms, the RCMP and the fucking CBC are working together. I know that. I know that because I've proven it. You go back, post making a video or a live stream, and you scrub certain pieces of information out so that the public doesn't know. The very public that you apparently are trying to give your media to, and the very public that finances you. So because I say that, oh, well, we can't have that. We got to block it. No, I don't block anything. I don't ban anybody. I don't block anything. I don't kick people out. This is not my way. You want to come in here, you want to shit on me, that's fine. You want to threaten me, that's fine. Go at it. Come on, let's go. But I don't block anything. But I don't violate policy. I'm not violating policy. YouTube is violating their end of the bargain. And we've all been saying that for years too. You know why I don't have strikes? Because I don't break their rules, and I never have. I don't sit out there and conflate violence or any of this nonsense. Everything I do is research. Sure, I make mistakes. I've made mistakes along this process. But, that's to err is human. To err is human. To admit that error is the sign of somebody who at least is not not living in la la land. I'm not perfect, but I'm not out to push any kind of agenda or any kind of nonsense. What I'm just about is truth. I grew up in that family. There's 13 generations of lawyers in my family. Just to give you an idea, it runs very strong in my blood. And so I'm all about evidence. You have the evidence, you have a position, I can come back with retort, etc., etc. But I have a goal. And I hope some of you share that goal. And I know Steve and Kage and Adrian and Tara and a whole bunch of you do. So what I'm asking you is please help me to help you, to help all of us. We're all doing the same thing, right? And I'm not going to be the face of this or anything like that. I'm willing to do what I can on, but somebody else, I think that's somebody else's role, somebody who's very organized, somebody who has those kinds of skills. I mean, there are certain components here. All that I'm good at is reading and finding some evidence here and there of things. That's what I'm good at. Other people have technical skills. See, there's another thing. You don't have to just be a researcher. If you have technical skills, if you know how to set up a web page, awesome, great. If you can figure out some places that we can all amalgamate and dump this data. Sadly, I suppose that's going to have to be on a cloud server, which of course can be compromised and fucking ruined too. But I saw the news yesterday that one of the Nova Scotia family is shooting that was what I was talking about last night. That was what they banned. They banned that video. Lawsuit filed with just my stupid opinion last night, and they fucking ban it. They ban it for 1 minute, 16 seconds of CBC's own video. Huh? But you see, I don't get a strike. You know why I don't get a strike? Because I didn't violate their policies. They just ban things. But this ban is a totally different ban. This is a ban that CBC has gone and specifically said, you know what? We're gonna get that video banned, because all normally that it would do is just, again, this money nonsense. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to get any money. My account is ineligible anyways. It's been demonetized a long time ago. Not that I even had it monetized going to a real person at a real address. I did it so that I could add Tara as an administrator on my account a long time ago. So I just set up some bunk bullshit. But then they demonetized the channel entirely. They would just go through and demonetize videos, pretty much every one that I did. And then they just came along. They came along right when I talked about this. That was when they demonetized it. The first video, and they told me, what was it? Oh, it's going to take me forever because I have lots of new subs. Thank you. Welcome to you all. To find that demonetized nonsense. But, no blocking on BitChute. BitChute is a bit of a headache. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and put that video back up, because I thought the video was very good. It's 3 hours long. But towards the end of that video, we kind of just broadened out into more of a talk about how this feeling that we all feel is powerlessness, right? Oh, you can't. How many of you in here? How many of you in here get hit with that one? Well, I can't do anything. Jesus, I want to throttle people when they say that. I love them, of course, but when they say I can't do anything, I'm like, okay, so you've just surrendered, and everybody can do whatever they want to you whenever they want, right? You're not going to do nothing about it. Not going to do nothing about it. Well, I can't. I'm just by myself. Do you know why? That was why I was mentioning the business about, some of my earlier videos, I used to talk about, like, what is YouTube suggesting you watch? The suggestions, or the auto feed, and they throw these little videos in there that don't really, not what you watch. I was talking with Steve about that, and I said, remember the video, the guy, My Self-Reliance, right? My Self-Reliance, great videos. Do you know what he's doing? Those are all very professionally shot. So if you think he's by himself out there in that, say, the movie, watch the camera angles. And no footprints in the snow. How did you get the camera there? Or is there some guy just sitting there, a few of them, all filming it? Why? Because they want you to run off into the bush, leave everybody behind. I'm not saying don't know how to take care of yourself. Absolutely know how to take care of yourself. Know how to take care of yourself. But abandoning other people is exactly what they want. I can leave. I can go out to the country. I have a ranch. I can go out there. I've known that for a long time. But am I going to do that? Because what about other people? You just leave them behind? Not my way. Not the way of a human, good human. Not the way of a Christian person. You don't just leave people behind. You fucking help. And you have power. Can't split up. The balkanization. Always in my old videos, I put, don't fall prey to the balkanization. Whether that's fucking psyops that they run over here in YouTube with people who are just there to cause shit. Fuck right off, man. If you're here and you want to fucking save stuff, you don't cause problems. You don't quit your infighting and nonsense. That's balls. Balls. Brands of darts, different orange pop. For fuck's sake, no real content. Yeah. And then you have people out here saying, well, nobody has any real content. Well, if they have no real content, make some goddamn content yourself! Don't bitch that other people don't have content, especially when that happens to be untrue. So, anyway, it's just me bitching and whining, I suppose. Hey, Canadian girl, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Happy Mother's Day. Self-defeating prophecy. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. They've got us conditioned. There is a very, and to understand this, you have to understand think tanks, and you have to understand psychological warfare, SHAFE, and those kinds of units, right? And if you don't think that that's being fought on a very regular basis, psychological, I used to talk about it, they banned those videos right away when I would mention them. Psychological warfare, which is very much a real thing. And it's spooky. Spooky shit. Propaganda. Propaganda. the Munt Act down in the United States, which it just got rid of, psychological. MK Ultra, fucking absolutely real. Absolutely real. You got to understand how to condition people's minds. You teach them that they're powerless. Your grandparents didn't think that they were powerless. They knew they had power. It was this farming off of, I'll give all my power to the government. The government will take care of me. They're going to teach my kids all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're going to teach them exactly what they want them to know, right? What they want them to know. So then you've got new generations, and that conflicts with the old generations. And as the boat goes further and further down the river, generations die out, and now you have more control. These people are spooky. They infiltrate. Look at somebody like who was one person that I was always on about, General. Oh shit. I remember I sent that name to Adrian. What was that, 2-3 years ago? I'm like, man, you want to have a look at something? And he's like, holy shit, man. This guy is tied up in all kinds of things. He's tied up in Holocaust stuff. He's tied up in time. He's running Time Warner, which at that point was the biggest media conglomerate. Just sowing people through all kinds of ideas. He's the one who buys up the Zapruder film, stores it in a safe. He's the one over there causing crap in Hungary and all this nonsense. What the hell was his name? Begins with J. General. Yeah, it's now is your names. I'm just my mind is somewhere else. We need to start caring for real. Not just giving homeless guys money. No. Action. I volunteer. I've been volunteering for 3 days a week for years. Because it actually does do something. Even though a lot of these volunteer organizations and stuff like that, they're businesses. Like they actually literally will sell them. They get, you want to hop on Critickill? I'll send you an invite, sir. You're awesome. If you're free. Only if you're free. Let's see here. Where are you? Doodaloo, doodaloo, doo. Doodaloo. There you are. Okay. I sent you an invite. If you want to join me, feel free. If not, that's fine too. I understand. Not about the money so much as its control. Exactly. What is money? Money is control, right? It can be utilized at the lowest level. You can use money to manipulate and use other people if you are so inclined. Your company does that. But it goes all the way up the food chain to countries. Bank of International Settlements. What a fucking horse's ass. World Bank. All these shit. The amount of money that this country ships out, unbelievable. Money equals power. Money equals power. It's not about the money. They created the fucking money. They own it already. It's useless papers and zeros. That people have bought into this principle, right? What was the premise of owning a bank originally? What was the original premise of a bank? It was to safeguard one's gold. So you basically had a bunch of thugs who protected your gold, everybody's gold. And then they figured out, okay, well, listen, we'll give you a chit. And people were like, saying how much gold you had, and you went off to the market, and you could use the chit. Funnily enough, people figured out, well, we use the chit. We'll take some of that, and then you can go to the bank. Well, then they figured out, well, of course, nobody's actually coming and getting all this gold. We can just start loaning it out at interest. Then we can start saying we have way more than we actually have. Fractional reserve lending. Derp. You know how much Royal Bank actually has in their bank? Of the actual money? Oh, I think it's less than, I think they're down at about 1%. 1%. So 99% of their money is totally fake. Fake. And they loan it out to everybody, and everybody pays interest, and that's why they're sitting back making billions. But they're not the big banksters. You got to go way higher, way higher. People are like, oh, you know, I can put my money in the bank. It's safe with the CIDC, Depositors Insurance, CDIC. Sorry, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. They don't have any money, hardly. If you actually do a thorough audit on their accounts, they don't have any money. So even if they were to use all of their depositor insurance, if there was a run on, say, just one bank, the Royal Bank, pick, then they can go to the government and say, well, listen, we need more to cover the $100,000 guarantee. Guarantee? Bullshit. They don't have that. That's why you get things like bail-in and all this nonsense. It's all fake. It's all fake. All lies. What is true? What is true is people's good natures, which they need to rediscover, many of them. People feeling really empowered. Fuck off with the psychology empowered. Psychology is not a good thing if you know the roots of it, right? Same with advertising, propaganda. Bernays, right? Who essentially invented advertising is Mr. Bernays. Bernays. There's him. Edward Bernays. Who is he? You know, yeah, I'm not going to get into some of my stuff because I have some views on things. And I think most people who are longtime followers of me know what my views are on some of this. But I not just views, I have the proof. I always have the proof. But who is Bernays' uncle? Well, that would be Sigmund Freud. Do you know once upon a time women didn't smoke. This is just an example. Just an example. Women didn't smoke. It was frowned upon for women to smoke. I'm a smoker, so I suppose maybe that's hypocritical. I don't know. But I'm not a woman, so... But smoking isn't good for you, whatever. But women didn't smoke. It was frowned upon. It was unladylike. So what did he do? Well, he figured out, I can go and lie to women and tell them, you know what? Your powerlessness, you need to, in order to be empowered, you stand there and you smoke. So he hires a whole bunch of kind of, what do they call them nowadays? They've got them all out over the place. The socialite, not socialites, but, you know, these people that really, they're nobodies and they go to parties and weird things. I don't know who the fuck they are. They look good or something, and apparently people hitch their wagon to them, and that's what they generate their revenue. It's based on absolutely nothing. They're usually brainless people, sadly. So he hires a few women who look really great, influencers. Yeah, there you go, influencers. What is an influencer? Okay, so it's the same kind of thing. Social influencers. Thank you all. Sorry, I'm trying to. I'm not watching the chat. Great. Hire debutantes. Yeah, there you go. Debutantes, right? So debutantes, same idea as a social influencer. Good looking, maybe have people know kind of who they are, and you have them stand there and light up a cigarette, and then you explain to people, well, you see how empowered they are. You see what forward thinking they are, how progressive they are. They're the new feminists. If you're not a smoker, you're not a feminist. You want women to stay in the toilet. It's all psychology, psychological manipulation. See? His work with the United Fruit Company, or connected with the CIA orchestrated overthrow of the democratic elected Guatemalan Republic. This stuff goes really deep. And that, what is he doing? All he's doing is manipulating your mind. They learned this one. And he's like, well, my uncle Sigmund Freud, I can use this crap on people too. How to use crowd psychology and psychoanalysis to control them in different ways. You know what? If you're really a good person, you don't really try to control anybody. Nobody. YouTube shouldn't be trying to control me. I shouldn't be trying to control you. I can have a logical conversation with you, and you can have a logical conversation with me. And maybe I learn some things. Maybe you learn some things. Maybe we disagree. That's the way that life goes. You don't try to control people. And I really shouldn't throw this stuff out there because I have a mission. And my mission is not anything to do with some of the things I've come to learn along the way. My mission at this point in time is to help a friend of many of us, and it is a vehicle to show that we have power. Use their own tools, use their own laws on themselves. So, most all of us know we're fucking scared if we get sued, right? It's not a pleasant thing to go through. Costs a lot of money, costs a lot of time. Not a fun thing. The RCMP have, of course, think about it, right? They're just taking your money and going to finance a defense, but still, it is one way to strike back. It lets them know it's definitely a flag in the air. Listen, you pissed a lot of people off here. Do something about it. Trudeau would never have gotten where he is if it weren't for his name. Exactly. Now, some people are there already where they understand that the political system is all trash. Doesn't matter who you have. Doesn't matter. Conservative, liberal, NDP, they're all flavors of the same ice cream. They all do the same things, which is not listen to the people. They're owned. Right? Usually, all that political system is a bellwether of how much shit can we get away with before people wake up. This is what think tanks do. That's all that they do. They sit there and think, well, what if we were to do it this way? What about if we manipulated YouTube this way? What about this and that and the other thing? The psychology, the psychological warfare. More and more and more and more control. And you traumatize people enough, you tell them, because think about the amounts of trauma that exists in your everyday life. If I lose my job, I'm going to lose everything, right? If the stock market falls apart, I lose everything. My kids are learning crap they really shouldn't be learning. Rapists, media pumping out garbage. Hey, Jadester, how's it going? Media pumping out garbage, all negative, right? Controlled and owned media. You get traumatized so much on a daily basis. And then, you got all kinds of crimes and things that happen when they really shouldn't, because people have been messed with so much. There are inherently evil people. This is true. But there's a lot of people who just, as society keeps going down this downward slope, they accept the garbage. They're like, well, it's not that big of a deal if they lie. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Do you remember that? Like, you can think of that in your own head. We all know that the politicians lie. Ha, ha, ha. Do you like people who lie in your life? No. So what do you do about it? If it were a friend of yours and they were lying to you all the time, you're not friends with them. But we are like, well, all of them just lie. I mean, not a big deal. And of course, that pervades your mindset. Lying becomes normal. The downward slope. Doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way. It's about taking care of one another, being good people, honest people, law-abiding people. Not 17 gazillion fucking regulations and laws and things like this. No, it's a few people, a few rules, few morals that we can all agree on for the most part, except for all the evil shit. Right? Those are the only people that are going to disagree with that. I don't really want people to murder people. Okay, that's a pretty good principle. I don't like people lying to one another. That's a pretty good principle. I don't think I really want my wife to cheat on me. So I'm probably not going to do that. That's probably a pretty good principle. Just a few basic ones that come out of the Bible. Church bells used to ring in this country. They used to ring. People used to go to church. It was not a bad thing. Just like, think about it this way. Torches of freedom. Cigarettes were not a good thing for women. Until this fellow came along, right? Before, people, it wasn't a sense of pride. It was just normal life to go to church on a Sunday. And you weren't a crackpot, and it wasn't a bad thing. All of a sudden, it's a real bad thing. Oh my God, don't tell people that you're Christian. You can't say Jesus' name. That's a horrible thing. That icky feeling, fuck you, man. I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus. Jesus loves me. He's the Son of God. He is God. And he said some pretty smart stuff, which doesn't seem bad. He's not like, run out there and kill that person or loan that person money at interest. Yeah, he was kind of anti-interest. Seems kind of smart. Yeah. There is a certain element of something going on in the background, but I have to try and keep my eyes focused on one place. And frankly, I think there are a lot of you that are in the same boat. And I want to work together with all of you. Even though the system The system is built to keep us down. That's what they want. And they will, if you allow them to. Only if you allow them to, through your resignation. I can't do anything. The politicians are going to change stuff, you know. They're going to fix it. Oh, if I elect this guy. Look at all the politicians. They get compromised. They all kinds of stuff. Look at somebody like Mr. Baird. You remember Mr. Baird? Remember how he retired so quickly? Just suddenly, like that? Anonymous sent him a tweet. Who is that? Anonymous? The real reason what was the tweet that they sent? Let's see. Oh, we've decrypted text messages with real reason why Baird quit Canadian politics abruptly. 2. Video 2. Stay tuned. What was it that you think they got? What do you think it was? Where is it? Involves actual illegal activity. Let's look at the National Post. National Post. There was an earlier threat that was made. It wasn't a threat. They just said, listen, we have information about you. It was sexual in nature. Not just that he's gay. And Baird retired. I got to step down as foreign affairs minister. I got to quit. Why? It's kind of Epstein type stuff. Steen. Anyway, I really shouldn't go down that road. I truly hope that you will leave your contact information. Not contact, like I don't want you obviously doxing yourself and things like that. And there's something about that too, right? Think about that. The trust that's been destroyed in this world. People don't trust one another anymore. They're very, very afraid. What is this person going to do? Are they going to come and rape me? You know, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe I live in a fantasy world, but I generally like to see that there is good in people. And people aren't out to harm me, by and large. So I'm going to not be a fool, but I am going to trust people that have demonstrated that they're worthy of trust. They're worthy of trust because they want good things too. They want kind of the same things that I do. So, I guess the question is, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? And you have to be forewarned. It's not going to be an easy road. No. They'll come after you and try and intimidate you in whatever ways that they can. And there's lots of them. Can be as stupid as deleting a video. We've all got skeletons in our closet. If we come to peace with our skeletons in our closet and aren't ashamed and say to ourselves, listen, sure, I've done some bad things but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a bad person, right? You can't threaten me. You can't blackmail me. You can't hurt me with that information, because we're all in that like that. We're human. We make mistakes. So you're blackmailing information? Frankly, I don't give a fuck. The job thing? Well, that one is a big threat to a lot of people. And I do understand it. You're going to lose your job. We're going to tell your boss about this. We'll make you look bad. Look at all the things that always float out about politicians or stuff like that. Oh, we just discovered this tweet. Oh, this woman just claimed something or other. Is some of it true? Sure. But if you're a real man, you're going to stand up and say, to begin with, listen, I fucked up here royally, and I'm really going to make some changes. Not the lip service garbage. Like, I'm really going to make some changes. Admittance of one's faults. So they'll use those weapons on people, financial weapons. Your family members or your friends who are sadly not quite awake, so to speak, right? As to what's going on around them. Or because most of the time, if you really sit down and talk with that person, what they're going to say is they're afraid. They're afraid. You get to the core of it. They're afraid of what this world has become. They don't want to see it. And there's all kinds of shiny things out there to distract them, and they would rather the shiny things that distract them than really deal with the problem. Acknowledge it. You can't deal with a problem until you admit that it's a problem. Then you have to be willing to do the work. And in order to do the work, you have to understand that you aren't powerless, that you have power, and that united we have power, right? I know that. I know that all of you have power. See? Look at the fear. The fear will get little kids to stand on dots and people to hide behind plastic shields. How far do you think it will go? That fear controls people. It keeps them in line. But fear is only fear if you let it be fear. Control is only control if you allow them to control. But words don't do a lot. Lip service from politicians, we know that's kind of not worth a lot. This applies to ourselves. If you're only willing to talk about things and not willing to step up and do what is necessary, you're part of the problem. That's why I'm not very keen on the RCMP who are good, that there are really good RCMP members in there who are remaining silent. Because if they don't want to be at risk of getting shot at by their own members, then perhaps you should come forward. Perhaps you should say, we made some real mistakes. How do we fix this? We want your trust. We really want your trust, not the bullshit that Leather preaches at the beginning. And when he's asked, oh, blah, 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 you know, he doesn't even really answer the trust question when they ask him, oh, you know, people's trust in you has been shaken. He says, we value Nova Scotians' trust. We value Canadians' trust. It's an important part of our job. Yeah, well, you kind of fucked it up. So rather than admitting that you violated that trust and trying to earn that trust back, you're going to be adversarial to the people. You're going to say, well, you know, we need to do these big, long investigations into a person that is dead so that it goes out of your mind, because you're going to get hit with all kinds of other shiny stuff all the time. We're going to tell you about killer bees. We're going to tell you about, you know, COVID. National, the CBC National, what does it do? This is apparently such a horrific event, and it is, in Canadian history. Well, why do you stop talking about it? All they talk about is killer bees and, hey, Lucky, what's up? 28 likes. Ian, you're awesome, man. The liking does do something, I think. I don't know. But they want you to focus your mind and attention on other things. That's disassociation. They want you to not associate with that. Well, okay. And it will drift out of your consciousness. That's the way the psychology works, right? And you'll forget about it, or you'll forget about the key details, and you'll just be like, remember, like if things happen in your life, you have a bad breakup, let's say, bad breakup with somebody in your life. You look back on the relationship a few years later, well, it didn't seem quite as bad. And a few years later than that, well, it's not quite as bad as that. Do you know? And sometimes you forget about them. That's the way the psychology works. So if people stop focusing their effort on, say, this particular issue, which frankly, I know that, I appreciate that. Thanks very much, Ian. I appreciate all you guys. Awesome. Plus one RCMP plus thesis. That's fine. I know that they watch my channel. It's okay. They're welcome too. They're welcome to their opinion. Toodles, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What do you eat? Do you want to finish your snack first?
No, it's okay. I thought you'd give you a few seconds there of a heads up, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't want to leave it. I'm keen to hear your opinions on things. So.
Oh, I'm digging what you're doing today. This is right up my alley here. I'm loving it. And good on you, man, for doing this. This is it's really important what's happening, where people are at, what's happening in society today. And it's I understand your frustration. I understand, and I'm right there. I'm right there in the arena with you, man. I get it. There's a lot of people that are upset. A lot of people just doing what they're doing, and I'm just finding everybody distracted by a lot of things. They're just, I started off, actually, there was a person I replied to today in a comment, and they said exactly that. You can't grow a community on, hating things and doing things and all this other stuff. Right. And I think that's where people are at. They're so hungry. They're frustrated, and they want to see that other people are frustrated. And so they start resonating with that. It's the adage, misery loves company. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I guess that's kind of where people are at today. You look at the very popular channels, And that's what they do. They go on there and they just espouse, misery. Well, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks, that sucks, but there's no solution. There's no resolution to any of this. And I've become a little bit frustrated too. I was doing a lot of things like, sort of like an Amazing Polly. I love what she does, but again, it's pointing out things, and it's great to know that. But
Sure.
I'm saying, what do we do after? And I think that's where a lot of people are today. Okay, I get it. But what do we do now?
Yep.
And so I'm trying to work hard. I mean, not everybody's going to agree on the path forward, but I believe what I believe, and I believe it's something for everyone. And I'm trying to help everybody realize that at least we can move forward in a direction where essentially each person is strong enough to recognize freedom, to recognize the abuse today, and to recognize what's happening. And why do we go to the construct of, as you're putting there, with politicians and the political system, when we know the abuse is there? We know if their lips are moving, they're lying, but yet we put our flag in the ground and saying, I am this and I am loyal to this.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they're going to turn around and screw you. They don't care about you. They don't want to hear anything from you.
Nope.
And I'm just astonished by this. I don't understand why people aren't brave enough to say, I'm done. I've used the analogy of the casino. I'm not sure if we discussed that before, but it is literally that. I have a bar of gold. It's tangible. It's money. It's something.
Mm-hmm.
Value.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into the doors of the federal government, the casino. Them and their cabal take my gold and give me a plastic circle to play in their game.
Yep.
Without the plastic circle, I cannot play in their game. It is their money and their money only. It is nothing but only value to them.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they have all the real gold, all the real money, all the real value, and we have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The more and more we play in their game, the more and more they take from us. And that is the name of the game. Trust me on that one.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you can go kind of next level, which is to say that, and I understand you're using it analogously, but the gold, why does the gold even have value? It's just something consensus, there's a consensus. Well, it's something that has value, because frankly, it could be, I don't know anybody knows that video game. What is it? Fallout 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yep.
The Fallout video game. And in the future, in the post-apocalyptic world, of course, which they want to condition us to believe that this is all going to burn down, which of course it will. Mm-hmm. In the future, it's bottle caps that are worth money. Bottle caps are the new money. Bottle caps are the new gold. It's but it does have value because it's finite. Zeros on paper are not finite.
Right.
They're infinite.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why things do have value. Gold has a value because apparently it is finite in theory, right? And that's why there's only so much of it. Diamonds, there's only so much of it, or at least so much of it mined that we know of. There's only so much in circulation. Whereas, the fiat currency is infinite. There is no, it can never be finite. I mean, they make it infinite and they just keep devaluing it. I keep seeing people look at, we're going to have to take a tax hike. We know this, to pay this off. Why? And then they say, well, we expect inflation, so I expect a raise. Why?
Yeah.
Do you understand the idea behind all of this is to devalue your earning? Yes. Right? No, I get you do, but maybe a lot of your viewers don't get that.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's not meant for you to agree, first off, that a politician can decide how much taxes you make is a disgust. It is. It's criminal. It's criminal. Sorry. Yep. They do this so that your bottle cap is now worth a half a bottle cap, if you will. Yep. To use your analogy. But they say it's still a bottle cap, but it's only has the value of half. But they maintain that a bottle cap is a bottle cap once they receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So you lost half of your value of your earnings. We have older folks right now who have banked on, this is what my retirement is today. But now they keep inflating and devaluing the dollar that they have. So if they retired with 2 million, now it's worth $1.5 million. They've stolen value from these people, even though they're not working.
That's right. Yeah.
It's the system is not meant to, but yet, so this is my question to the viewers. Why would you all consider voting again? Why do you want to do this type of thing to yourself? Do we not want to find, even when you talk about, what's happened and I, it's disgusting, but you were just saying there, why can't these guys admit their mistakes and say, we did the best we could? I get it. Was there something good? We need to know. We need answers. Why can't they be honest with us and transparent? Why can't they come out? And I think that's all you're asking, right?
Well,
when going through this whole process.
They're co-opted. Yeah. You get to that level that it is inherently built that way. Yeah. Whether it be all the lobby groups or and that is, they developed the idea of the tinfoil, but the idea of kids getting sexually abused is 100% real. And they're going to use those kinds of tools and tactics, the people who are really behind all of this shit, to control us, because that's the way that they control them, who then control us, Yeah. So you can't have, until people are willing to face a lot of these grim realities and admit that, okay, we're going to confront that one and we're going to deal with it, then the system will just continue on. And you're going to have the lobby groups and shit like that. I mean, an ambassador to Google in Canada? What the fuck, man? Google isn't a country.
No. It's really tough. And, I'm looking at some of the people in the chat, some of their comments, and they're absolutely right. If you look at the way, trade was built back in the day. I mean, if you had, many games have even been built off of this, right? So you have, textiles and things, and someone has spices over here. You go to different ports. Yeah. I forget what that game was called, but you'd go, so you required that. So you had to go and send a ship over there in order to feed your economy. All right. So then those ships, or they would bring the spice to you, to your port. You'd trade so much, but everything was finite because it was only what was ever on the ship, right? So they got gold, or they got what they needed, and then they went away happy. You came and gave your people, this is what we have, and it's finite again. But, everybody was more or less happy in a way, looking at it as a general, obviously the times are pretty tough, and, when things are finite, it could create hardship as well. But we've totally bypassed the whole idea. I mean, we have very entitled population now, and people aren't interested in seeing a lot of this stuff. They don't, they don't know. They see a package of steaks in a butcher counter. Well, I'm going to take that, put it on the barbecue. But where did it come from? Yeah. How much kinetic energy is built up in that, right? Of work, of value, and they don't see technocracy. Yeah, it's right. The amount it takes to get it from A to B is one thing. The amount of work it takes to raise that cattle, the cattle itself, of eating and energy and growing. I mean, there's so much energy built into that one item, but they just take it for granted and walk away with it. They don't understand the idea behind this thing, and we've lost sight of that. And rightfully so. I believe these folks sort of penning us in that direction so that we just become mindless minions, right?
So we're the cattle.
We are the cattle. Absolutely.
Energy in, energy out. The principle of technocracy. We're the value.
Yes, we're the commodity, actually, at the end of the day. That's the way I've called it. I mean, even the cabal. Why do they want millions of people to migrate here? First off, cheap labor. Second off, they need people. They need bodies, commodities to be able to create money with. For every one person, you're worth so much money to them. So now they can print more and more money because they know the more people they have, the more people, their ROI will come faster to them, right? It has nothing to do with anything else other than money for them. That is why they push.
But the money really is I don't know if you agree about that, but
net worth, I guess it's
at the end of the day is they're far bigger because they created the fucking money. Who cares?
Exactly.
They've got all the money in the world. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's us that's the value.
Well, in essence, it's what we own is the value, right? Our energy as work is their value, right? Mm-hmm. And what we own, if we actually have a house and whatever, I mean, in theory, we pay that off in value. Through our labor, we built the house. Now it's theirs, right? Well, at the end of the day, that becomes theirs.
We don't have property rights in Canada.
No, we don't.
So
but
essentially,
we built it.
Paper that says you got a house and you paid all kinds of energy to buy that house, but it's not yours.
It is not yours. No, at the end of the day, don't pay your taxes and see who owns that house.
Well, and if they decide, and they do periodically, I know that one firsthand. In something that happened with us and a piece of land that we had, the government tried to come in and literally seize that. Seize that as part of a deal and say, listen, we can take that. And there's a three person bureaucratic body here in Alberta that can take that.
Yeah.
And they have that built in with all this other nonsense of the principles of nature reserve and stuff like that, the new laws that they built in about deeming something as a nature reserve. So who are you? You're in agreement with me, though, that there's a lot of talk.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Lots and lots of talk, but not a lot of action.
No, there are a lot of armchair cheerleaders that want to sit there and, just because I do this on my channel and you do this on your channel doesn't mean you're not doing anything behind the scenes. I've been to protests. I've done, I mean, since this lockdown, obviously there's not a lot going on, but I've done it. I've been there. I've talked to people firsthand. And also, my pet project, I'm not going to plug that here, but the point is I'm working with other people to try and get things going. Right.
Do plug it. Because,
well, I mean, it's just the stuff I'm doing with Doug Force, right? I'm trying to educate people. Everybody thinks it's a movement, and it's not a movement. Doug Force is just trying to educate the population of Canada to exactly what I was getting at. Like we vote for something that is de facto. It's illegal and unlawful. If people understand that, all I say to anybody who's going to be a politician coming up front, this is why I can no longer support politicians or the federal government or anything, because I know it's a lie. It's illegal what they're doing. It's criminal. And for a Polly to go up there and say, I know, but I'm not going to tell the people because they, then I don't get elected and I don't get to do my thing. Well, that's a lie. Why would you vote for a party that does that? Every one of them know this. I'm not going to get into the facts. If they want to learn more, they can go look up The Myth is Canada. But to me, it's just educating people, right? It's telling people that this is all a lie. It's a construct. Politics itself was meant to divide us by which flag we want to tote, right? We look at the last election. PPC came out, whether you like it or not, PPC came out with a decent platform. And I thought, well, I might as well do this because there's no way anybody's going to change their mind about anything else. And, it was a good platform, but because people are so loyal and will not, they don't understand. I'm not going to vote for my freedoms. I'm not going to vote for my values. I want to vote to win and vote negatively to get Trudeau out. That was their focus. right? So why do we focus around something negative? Why do we always say what we don't want? Because that's the way we've been trained. We trained to just, like I said, misery loves company. And even in that, I've noticed that people will not be brave enough to do this. And I had a guest on my channel the other day that talked. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. No.
Oh, well, I'll just finish this thought.
I was just going to say the courage absolutely
Courage.
is something that's fucking missing from this whole equation.
I mean, you and I are out here. This is my face. They know who I am.
Yep.
And they hear what I say on a daily basis. And I guess I have to take that risk. And I had a guest on my channel. She's a life coach. And that's one of the things she said, that 95% of the population are, and I don't mean to be rude, but they're followers, they're sheep. They're in their armchair waiting, and the 5% are the leaders. And unfortunately, the 5% are going towards the construct to lead people into pens. And we need more people to be pulled out of that system and lead people into, if you look at it, the Titanic going down, repeating myself a lot, but people are in their deck chairs, looking around, just moving their deck chair around to whatever party, whatever place feels good, while the 5%ers are out there getting the lifeboats in the water, man. You guys, come on, get this done. And until they see crowds moving somewhere, it's what's happening over there. It's hard. I don't know how to change that, but I think you have to do it by example. Perhaps you have to just start doing it, build it and they will come. And what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the entire political system is and maybe, like I said, I don't think a lot of people are going to, no, I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but I think there are definitely a segment of population still that may be seeing things that are going on, but they don't actually believe that their political system is totally and utterly corrupt and destroyed. There's no way that you can work in this system. Doesn't matter what party, we're holding on to hope and faith in things that aren't real.
Right. Exactly.
The police are going to protect us, or the government's going to take care of us, or the teachers are going to teach our kids. It's always somebody else's job rather than our own.
That's right. I agree. And I was really, I admired what you were saying actually just before I came on, that, it is personal responsibility, which is one of the pillars that the PPC party did. That's what I resonated with, personal responsibility. And it is. I don't need a party to tell me that. But if I can get other people to understand that through this, and then eventually maybe let go of this security line, that's what it comes down to, right? You gotta build it all inside of you, man. You gotta be solid going out into society and be able to look at stuff and say, that's not right. I'm going this way, and be brave enough just to do that. But people they hate discomfort. Everybody wants to be comfortable on their deck chair, eating their bonbons and listening to the band while the ship's taking on water.
Yeah,
that's unfortunately.
But they can't even see. Like, the sad thing is, like, I do that often, where I think back to the way things were when I was younger, and like say how far quote money went back then.
Yeah,
you could buy lots of things.
You sure could.
But the Bank of Canada, which is a completely corrupt and owned organization, they control the interest rate, they control the inflation rate. And people's lives have gotten drastically worse. You can buy less. Doesn't matter. You work harder. You still have less. At the end of the day, what you were worth once upon a time is worth less than it was today. You keep money in your bank account. Say, for instance, I remember I had something, an investment, and it rolled out of an RSP and rolled into a savings account, even though the bank wasn't supposed to do that. And I went down and I said to the lady, she's like, "Oh, well, it's in a really good savings account. I said, are you out of your fucking mind? Do you understand the principle of inflation? 3%. You're going to pay me 0.5, but my money is worth less next year than it is today. I'm losing money keeping my money in that.
Yes. You're giving them the basis on which they, in theory, turn around and lend you that. Say, this was my question. Everybody thought, what a wonderful government for them to force the banks to defer our mortgages if you wanted to do that for a month or two. In the same token, depending on the I guess the bank that you deal with, but some will say, well, just pay the interest and the rest is fine. Don't worry, we'll let you not pay the principal. Well, of course, that's the best part, because if you don't pay the principal, we just keep charging you interest on that higher amount.
2.5 times you buy a house, your mortgage is going to cost you 2.5 times what the house is worth, and the house then is not worth what it was once upon a time.
Exactly. So if I have, let's just say I have $1 million, I put that in the bank. They give me 0.5 is generous, actually. High interest savings these days I thought it was a 0.00 something, but perhaps if you could get that, let's just say. Now imagine, and it's not compounded interest. So they take your $1 million and loan it out to two people that buy homes. They make 2-3% compounded interest on that.
Yep.
With your money. They're loaning your money out. And then you say to them, I want my money back today. Oh, sir, there's a service fee. A what? A service fee. Why would I pay a service fee? Well, it takes a lot of overhead to run, to secure your money. You don't secure nothing, right? You don't secure any of my money because you don't even have it here. So who's securing my money?
No,
right?
No, if there was one on I remember I did the numbers. There was a run on the Royal Bank and CDIC kicks in, there isn't enough money at all to cover any of this. It's a complete and utter sham. And now they're going next level sham by saying, well, guess what? You can work or you don't have to work, but we'll just give you money. Where the fuck is that coming from? So now money has absolutely zero value.
Yep. It's fiction. Like you said, it's fractional, but I think it's really hard. Cognitive dissonance is definitely, there's not a whole lot of in between, I'm finding. And I guess I should back up a little bit. Since that election, let me just say, I've backed out of all of this and I've taken on an observation role. And so I'm not going to go behind any party. I'm just looking for facts like yourself. And I just want to deal in facts and try not to get into too many rabbit holes. But what I'm noticing today is there really isn't too much, it is just literally psychological damage everywhere. Yeah. It is just carnage. The left.
You preach about trauma and people being traumatized.
Yeah.
As kids or somebody else being traumatized. We've all been traumatized for generations, all of us. Yeah. All of us. It's absurd.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absurd. It's, people that cognitive dissonance isn't just on one side anymore. It's on both. It's, in order for me to be a conservative, I have to believe this. And if you're telling me it's different, sir, you are an idiot, right? That's the type of thought process we have over there. Mm-hmm. And then we have the other side and, which the liberals, oh, everything's just wonderful. It's utopia. And, that person is, they're just in a bad place. I was bullied by people like that. And, it's very much completely, they become the bully and the voice that is now the prominent voice, because the people over here ain't got no time for that. I'm ignoring it. It was kind of like what you're saying before with I won't ban anybody, which I agree. I mean, kudos. And I wouldn't want to ban anybody either. But the problem is we're the only ones getting banned, the voice.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if we don't use those weapons of war against them as well, when they turn around and break policy, we're letting them trample over the same system that they built. So they must be punished by their own system. I know when a lot of people and the pride and ego gets in your way and you say, screw that. And for many years, I thought the same, but I'm thinking if we don't do this and we don't stand up and push them back using their own weapons, we're just going to keep getting trampled and silenced, right?
Well, and that's why
report their videos.
What I'm doing, right? Like
Yeah,
that's why I'm just tired. I'm tired of talking.
Yeah,
I've been tired of talking for a long time, and it was about waking hopefully a few people up maybe along the way. But now is, you know, let's go. Let's just try some things. You know, Adrian was talking about tax. Let's take a tax strike. I'm like, absolutely. Why not sew some of these ideas together?
Yeah,
they won't have the monies to defend themselves if, you know, the RCMP, if nobody's paying the fucking taxes. Let's go multi-pronged attack here. Let's go full retard. If they want to be like that, let's go.
Right.
But talking only accomplishes in so much as they let us talk, which is censored heavily, and then they get us locked in these fucking echo chambers of 60, 70 people that are watching right now or whatever, and then it's just the same people, right? And God love them. God love them, but they know how to fucking throw all those people in there into one basket, and it's just going to be the same people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I guess, you know, the observation mode again, I've been trying to figure out how to break out of, you know, echo chambers, how to try, you know, not become ideologues, I guess, if you will, because I want people to keep growing past even what I know. Please do. You must past what, you keep growing. Don't let us limit you. But we also need to get out to other communities and do that as well. I don't know how to break that. And I've been, you know, you were talking about the trending videos, and that's what I was saying. Like, if I made a video about farts and brands of coffee, I would have 1 million views.
Yep.
But talk about truth and something that is actually worthy of, you know, I guess you could almost call it self-help, but nobody wants that. No, that's not for me. There's no shiny things for me there.
Yeah. No, right? some of these videos are really spooky, like how to live off of $1 for a day. Right. These are crazy, and they're getting millions and millions of views. Like, okay, so you want to live off of $1 a day. Right. You want to live like shit. Yeah. They're telling you how to do it. You're going to eat cat food and dog food and pick, you know, wild mushrooms that maybe kill you.
Ask yourself why they want you to do that. Why?
Exactly. Because they're telling you
trillions and trillions of dollars beneath your feet, folks. That they're reserving for themselves. They're stealing it from you. The trillions and trillions of resources beneath your feet. And they're telling you, keep it in the ground. Go out there. Do not make oil. It's awful. But yet we don't talk about what happens in the mines in Quebec and Ontario. The big pit that we pull out all of this earth and then leave this humongous, ugly friggin' pit there that's leaching disgusting chemicals all over the place. Absolutely. Again, not to pick one against the other, but there it is again. It's hypocritical.
Yep. Oh, because they're just struggling for the fight. Yeah. But again, I maybe I'm off on this, but this has been a principle that's been around for a long time, and we are the value. You know, sure, the stuff under the ground and things like that is worth a lot of money. But if you control the people, and their minds, then you can do all the bad shit. You can steal all the stuff from them, and they're going to say nothing about it. They're going to, you know, and who are the ones that are getting the stuff out of the ground? Who are the ones accepting the huge, gigantic environmental messes? Yeah. We're the value. Our minds. That's why data is so fucking valuable. You know, people are like, well, who cares if they know my name? I don't care. You know, no. It's all about learning how you think and then how to manipulate that.
Of course.
And it's targeted. It's not like some blanket thing for all conservatives or all this or that. It is targeted specifically at you, you know, Critical Thinker at Mr. Moneypenny or Gary Schill or whomever, right? It's targeted to try to influence our thinking and our mindset about what we will accept and tolerate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's, I did look into that. I think it was, what was it? Oh, the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. That's a really great document. I'm not sure if you read it.
I've heard it.
Oh,
I've heard about
fantastic. So I've done a couple of streams on that. And one of the things I talked about just recently was the shock test, how the shock test society.
I'll just grab the link for it.
Oh, I can send you the document if you want.
Oh, awesome. That would be super.
You want the document? Sure.
Yeah. We'll just link it in there and then people can have a look.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull it up. But yeah, so essentially the shock test that I was, do you want me to screen share it or do you want me to send it to you? I don't know how to.
Whatever. The documentary I'm interested in watching too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the documentary was good. But this was, this is the actual document itself so one of the things they talked about in there was the shock testing society, right? And in doing so, what, basically I attributed it to the toilet paper test, right? So you go out there and you tell people there's a scarcity going on. And here, I'll just bring that up. But yeah, if you can get people to believe that this commodity, right? So they're going to pull the lever. Let's see, toilet paper, it's running out. You better, so the media drops a little bit of propaganda.
Sure.
I don't know if we're going to have toilet paper. People go out without even thinking, right? The buffalo running for the cliff, without even thinking. They're beating on each other for toilet paper. Toilet paper. Meanwhile, bypassing spaghetti, pasta, flour, right? Essentials that could last you forever.
Yes.
But I need the crap paper. Sorry, I'm looking at this. Let me see. I could probably just screen share this, couldn't I?
Absolutely.
And then you can put it up there, but okay. Oh, it says it could crash. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Maybe it's all your nice background and stuff.
Yeah. You know what that is? That's a critical. That's the thinker at the gates of hell. That's what that is.
Oh.
Right. He's sitting up here behind me. Right.
At the gates of hell.
At the gates of hell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just.
I didn't need to know that part, probably.
Well,
are you trying to fill us full of negativity here?
No, it's not negativity. It's me wondering why the hell people want to go in there. Right? It's critical thought saying, really? Is this really where you want to go? Because that's where they're taking us. Yeah.
That's where we already are.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So economic shock testing. Can you read it? You can read it. Go ahead and read it if you want.
I can't. Can you? Is there any way to blow that up?
Oh, I could. Yeah. Just hang on. I can. Oh, just takes a. It's really. Oh, come on. Sometimes this thing is funny. Let me see. I can never remember how to make. I don't know why. There we are. Okay. Is that
super? Do you want to just? I'm gonna go and grab a quick coffee and.
Oh yeah. No, I have no problems with that. So hopefully, maybe people can let me know if they can see it.
Yep, absolutely, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So the whole idea with this is, the silent weapons for quiet wars here is basically, I guess, someone picked this up. I think it was 1960s. What page was this? I'll go back to the top here. For those of you who don't know, I mean, I don't know the roots of this document, but definitely this is where they say it comes from, right? Someone picked it up on a printer, right? And it was dated back 1979, found on July 7th, 1986, right? From the Bilderberg committees. And this is their path forward. I mean, there's a lot of interesting information in here. But the one of recent that I and the way they calculate all of this, it's really interesting to watch how they calculate this. Like, this is engineering at its best. They actually use energy and joules of energy to more or less figure out what lever and what button to push to manipulate you one way or another. Right? So these are not just constructs built from nothing. They've done oodles amounts of test. I mean, they're looking at resistance. They're looking at flow of energy. And we are the energy. Our thought process is the energy that they're talking about.
So basically, it is technocracy.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
Is absolutely the definition of technocracy.
Yes, it is
energy
not.
And energy output, resistance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, and they've done it. So I'll just go over this here because I mean, I don't want to monopolize your show, but it's an interesting. In recent times, the application of operations research to the study of public economy, has been obvious for anyone who understands the principle of shock testing. So I'm just going to go over this quick. Basically, they talk about the resonance of a gun being shot on a metal frame. They try and figure out how to strengthen that so it doesn't fall apart, right? What do we got to do? They talk about here a tuning fork. They just try and figure out the proper resonance of the energy so that it flows properly without damaging anything else around it. That's what this is all about. Shock waves. I don't want to get too carried away with that. But so economic engineers achieve the same result in studying the behavior of the economy and the consumer public by carefully selecting a staple commodity such as beef, coffee, toilet paper. This is my notes, by the way. Gasoline or sugar, causing a sudden change or shock in its price or availability, thus kicking everybody's budget and buying habits out of shape, right? So they want to do something to you, send the shockwaves out there and see how you react. And if you react in the way that they hoped, then their studies bang on. If not, now they have to manipulate it a different way next time to try and get the proper outcome, right? So they observe the shockwaves, which result by monitoring the change in advertising prices and sales of the other commodities, right? The objective of such studies is to acquire the know-how how to set the public economy into a predictable, stable state of motion or change. Even a controlled self-destructive state of motion, which will convince the public that certain expert people should take control of the money system. Does that have you heard this before? I don't know. What are we seeing today? Bill Morneau goes out there and says, because of the economy, we have to sweep our previous debt under the rug. And now we've got this other thing, Corona debt over here to deal with. So let me deal with that because I best know how to do that. You guys just pay the taxes. I got this. I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rather than liberty and justice. That's what people will, right? So take control of the money system and reestablish security rather than liberty and justice for all. When the subject citizens are rendered unable to control their financial affairs, they, of course, become totally enslaved, a source of cheap labor, right?
Yes.
In a nutshell, I mean, not only the prices of commodities, but also the availability of labor can be used as a means of shock testing. Labor strikes, unions do this all the time. Excellent test of shocks to an economy, especially in the critical services area of trucking, transportation, communication, public utilities, energy, water, garbage collection, etc. Right? All of these things, so like I said, essential services. Right. So we'll go out there. Teachers will go out there and go on strike, and they demand more money because, well, we need them to provide services for our children. So, I mean, this is basically holding the public up for ransom, and they don't even realize what they're doing. They're being useful idiots by striking and thinking the union tells them, oh, it's your right to strike and protest, but you're holding up other people's resources by doing so. So we are being pitted against each other in this in this contest.
Yes.
There's more and more of this. I don't want to go over a lot of it, but this was a crazy deal for me and I recommend I'll send it to you.
Yes.
So that you can go over it and, discuss with your viewers as well, because I think it's an important document that people, but as I said, the solution here is not the document. The solution is to understand the problems, and then we can move on to fix it, to get out of that system. But this system here, this system that we're seeing, that is what the federal government uses. That is what every government cabal, they all use it. So to continue to go to the casino and ask for their circles, you consent to this.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
I'm going to vote for, they didn't get in. Damn. It wasn't in the cards. Well, next time, right? 4 years later. And that's the system. That's the cycle of abuse.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts, on this? I'd be interested.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this is the principle of technocracy, which had a lot of, and Bilderberg was big into it. So it matches up. It matches up correctly. But we've bought into all of these lies. The money, the faith in the political system. Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same. If you believe the lies and understand that we have all been lied to, and somebody said there, Sister C, about the Q thing. Do you see, this is how far people are going. Yeah. They're going to hold on to, and not that I'm saying that Q doesn't have interesting things, and that and to me, it was a very good thing in the sense that it got people thinking again, but holding, again, this is just we're constantly grasping at something to save us. It's us that can save us, ourselves.
Absolutely. You have to want the change. You need to start yourself. When you hit enough pain, you will want something different, and people are starting to hit that benchmark right now.
Exactly. The what do they call it? Like in alcoholism, or you got to hit rock bottom.
Got to hit that bottom.
And until we get there, you're going to keep doing all the things like telling people I'm going to quit drinking and I'm going to do this and you're going to save me and I'll just have a beer instead of wine. Right. Until you yourself understand that it's a problem and you want it yourself, then you're going to do the action, not talk.
That's right. And that's exactly it. And I mean, I have no problem, divulging. Like 4 years ago, I hit a rock bottom. It wasn't alcoholism, but it was, I guess there was just other things. I had, the industry that I work in, oil and gas, started going down. And I haven't worked full time in 4 years. I haven't been able to conjure up enough work to continue. I actually left here and went away for 6-8 months to Dubai to make some money. And I lived there for 6-8 months to provide. And that's the things we have to do. And that is not normal. That is not something, unless you choose to do so. But we have trillions for us to create our own wealth right here for ourselves. And we're not doing it because we let something else tell us we can't.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Right now, we're taking ships. We're taking oil from Alberta. We're pumping it to BC, putting it on foreign ships. The foreign ships take it all around the continent, through the Panama Canal, and over to Louisiana, the East Coast.
Yep. To process, to only bring back here.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And we sell it at what? 60 cents on 60 cents on the dollar.
Well, actually,
we pay them to process our shit. We ship it all the way down there to buy it all back at regular
right now.
Price. What the fuck?
Right now,
is a different story.
It's going right to our own refineries on the East Coast. If only we had a better way to get oil there, like, I don't know, a pipeline or something. But
how about we just build a refinery in fucking Alberta?
That's where I'm at now.
Sure.
That's exactly where I'm at. Alberta needs to do this. Alberta needs, we have enough. And the reason I use Alberta is because actually it's a spark plug right now. We could be the catalyst that makes the change, right? We could start to do that. We could become self-efficient probably within 3 years. Self-sufficient, sorry. Like you said, instead of investing and giving transfer payments, say, screw you, we're building refineries right here. Put our people to work. We don't need to make, the kind of money we did before if we're having our own economy within our own borders, right? Yeah. We could be we're what? I think the third largest wheat producer, which people don't even know. Alberta's just oil. No. Beef, wheat. We're talking, sheep, everything. We do so much here. We have our own steel plants. We have, we have so much that we could be doing to retool. Here's what I say. If Kenny was a smart man or actually cared about Alberta, he would shut the borders to China and any imports like that, retool to what we are importing from there, and put the people here to work making those products.
I do agree. I guess I'm coming at it just from a slightly bigger perspective, maybe slightly bigger, which is just that this is a worldwide problem. This is a worldwide solution that has to be implemented. You're only staving off the inevitable, and probably that cancer that grows in all of these governments and things like that will permeate once again into. If you were claiming, because that sounds kind of Wexit type stuff, right? So if we're just going to get it again, we're just going to get it again and again and again until we learn our lesson that we're getting screwed here all around the world by these small group of people, and those people have to go. I'm sorry, they just have to go. They can't play in the sandbox well anymore.
And and I'm not espousing Wexit, by the way. I seen someone talking to. I don't know if you were assuming I was talking about Wexit or. I'm like I said, I have no affiliation with any parties whatsoever. I've had Peter Downing on my channel, and I put his feet to the fire too, asking him, "Are you going to put a party into the federal system?" And he said yes. And I said, "Then I can't support that. I can't support anybody who wants to play in that game. I can't." Because I know it's all lies, and you're lying to the people. Then you take an oath to the Queen. So you're not going in there to fix anything. I know this. You don't tell me you are, because you aren't. The minute you try and go against the Queen, you're in jail, my friend. So come on, let's be realistic about this. And and to the second part there, I'm hoping that if we lead by example here in Alberta, it's going to resonate with a lot of other people. Because you look at, France is standing up, even the yellow vest, right? That sort of caught on in a lot of places. So why couldn't this? Once Alberta did this and became self-sufficient, why wouldn't all these other, look at Taiwan? They're trying to do their own thing. Many other smaller nations or countries have done that. They've split apart and become self-sufficient. And I think it's a whole revelation that we all have to understand. This has got to happen right now. Otherwise, they're going to keep it as a collective. They want it to be a collective. And we want to decentralize that collective. Yeah. And someone has to do it first.
Somebody has to do it first.
To be the catalyst. I'm more than willing to go through the pain to show others it's possible. Now, there's always going to be issues in there, of course. Not everybody's going to agree within, the confines of whatever you want to call this, the shining star of Canada, just like Texas in the States. But we got to figure it out. But there's no better way than to start. How do we do it? We just start. We start it today. We start. Start building communities, start building growth, start building trust within the people again. right?
Trust. Yeah, but where does that start?
Right here. How about you and I? We're doing it.
Just ourselves. You know,
Okay.
like really, we've
Right.
got to start at home.
Absolutely.
We can't keep saying it's all their fucking fault, because
No.
it's their fucking fault because we allow it.
We had let it. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
So this is on us, people.
Yes, I agree. 100%. So own it and now fix it. And it starts right here, right here. As I said 4 years ago, you know, I did kind of do a segue there, but 4 years ago, I hit that rock bottom. I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I just started figuring myself out, figuring out what the issues were, figuring out how I had to do this. And I just had to put my adult pants on for a moment, right? Start wiping my own ass and saying, I just got to do this, get her done, boots on the ground. And that's where it starts.
Yep. And I agree with you on all points there.
Yeah.
You know, my mind, I guess, is maybe slightly in a different place, but
yeah,
it does. In principle, we're all agreeing on the same sorts of things.
Right.
It's coming together
right
on how to get that done.
100%.
And I think this blind faith thing is absolutely just toilet. Blind faith in the money system, toilet. Blind faith in the teachers, toilet. Blind faith in the governments, toilet. You know, it's doesn't work. It doesn't work. What works is being. I can't put it into words, but it's to do with ourselves and how we take care of one another around ourselves, and simply saying, we're not going to buy into this lie anymore. We're not. We're not going to be subject to your bullshit and your fucking programming and all of your nonsense. We want to be of independent mind and support one another in that. And somebody else has a problem in your community, even though you don't know them, you're going to lend a helping hand, not fucking money or any of this nonsense. You're going to go and do it.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, it's Christian ethics.
Absolutely.
Right? And I understand that, you know, that's a dirty fucking word, but you know, it worked. It works.
I hear you there. And that's why even that, you know, I've had several conversations about religion on my streams as well. And I just find it just becomes a distracted, divisive mess. So here's what I'm even suggesting, and I'll go further than that and say this. Park your affiliations, because that belongs to you. I don't care if you're Muslim, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when we got to get back into the trenches, let me tell you, I'm going to want my neighbor. I don't care what he or she believes in, but I just want to know you got my back. That's it.
Well,
and if you don't, then
sadly, some of these
get out of the fight.
You know, and I'm going to step off into my own personal beliefs, but some of these religions are not. If you read them, they are not professing acceptance of everybody. They are superior attitudes, and that is bullshit. You can't work in a world when you have this kind of line of thinking. You have to be able to accept everybody for who they are. If they're a shitty individual, good. Then they're going to get ostracized by you and the community. They're going to be like, I don't want that around me.
100%.
But if you run around with this superiority attitude, well, I'm better than that because I was born this way. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the construct of, you know, how do I put, I don't, you know, I hate that people will get offended when I say this. And it doesn't matter to me who you believe God is or source is or Buddha. It doesn't matter to me. Like you said, you are a person. I look at you and decide whether or not I resonate with you by the way you treat me and the actions you are with me. If I don't like who you are, well, then I don't like who you are. It's not because, but you see today people take that, they don't even look at the person. And you're right. Religion teaches people superiority. which to me, I'm sorry, but I don't buy that. Okay.
Yep.
It's in here. That's my relationship with whatever I believe. That has nothing to do with you or anybody else.
Exactly
right?
what Andy's saying.
Yeah.
And everybody is free to choose whatever they want.
Absolutely.
However, when it comes to actually dogma and professing superiority to another individual just simply because of how you were born, that is unacceptable to me. That is unacceptable.
Yep.
And frankly, to me, Christianity at its root is absolutely nothing about that. It is just about sheer acceptance and how to live a code of ethics for ourselves, just ourselves. So you're saying absolutely exactly what I'm saying. It is judge a person based on how they are. So it starts here with ourselves.
Yeah, basically it's, for a lack of a better term, it's the shit test, right? I'm going to go to you and say, look, here it is. And I'm going to, I'm going to give you the old Nurple and say, look, how do you like this? Right. And whether or not you say, look, I don't like this and stop treating me like that, or are you just going to accept, like, I need to know how you value yourself, how you feel about yourself. Or do you feel there's worth in who you are?
Yep.
And are you going to accept me for who I am or not?
Yep.
Right. This is me. If you don't like it, well, then let's just do this right now and let's just go our separate ways. Right. But people don't, like, right now we're looking at complete constructs of even religion is divisive. I can't have that conversation without people getting pissed. Well, Islamist is, yes, but that's a construct. It's not a religion is here.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I had this conversation with Slippin quite a while ago, and he was asking me if I go to church, and I said, no, I don't go to church. And he asked me why. I said, because my church is here. And he said, well, that's not right. You have to pay homage to a church, right? You have to go to church and for respect. I said, no, they don't respect me. I respect what's in here. I said, when you look at the Bible, what did Jesus tell you?
Yep.
What was he preaching?
The temple is the world.
It's love, right? Where's love? It's here.
The love, the greatest of these is love.
Right. So I don't need to go to church for them to tell me that. Now, if I want to learn about the book, or if I want to learn about whatever the case is, I can go there, or I can study myself. But I'm just saying, oh no.
There is a correction on the spelling of the name. That's why I say to people, I used that the other day. Where was I? Oh, crappy tire. I had to buy a battery.
Crappy tire.
And they said
like
what's your name? Because of course they wanted to put it in their fucking file or something.
Yeah.
I said Seamus, and they said, how do you spell that? I said semen, like semen, only differently. He didn't like that. He's like, how do you spell it? I'm like, spell it whatever way you want, man. Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
I don't want to go on your data file.
Yeah. I was going to mention this to you. So Facebook, I got a lovely little thing from them the other day saying that, oh, we don't think your name is the name you go by every day. So I'm like, what? Critical thinker. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. I heard
right.
You about that.
Yeah. And so I spelt it not with kill on the end. I spelt CAL. Folks, the reason I did that is just phonetically, really. There is no, when I started my YouTube channel, I wanted Critical Thinker spelt the proper way, but unfortunately it was taken. So I spell it this way. And so now they want me to send in photocopies of my driver's license, of this and that. And I'm like, I don't think so. Who are you? The gatekeepers of what? Right? So they can, actually, I started another one, and we'll see how long that one lasts. But this one lasted 3 months. So
this is my Facebook, Awoken Goy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they haven't hit me. I work at some Ruthless Records and the Bank of International Settlements. Born in Jerusalem, but grew up in Compton. They haven't hit me yet. But
how long have you had this?
Not that long, actually.
Okay.
I never am I won't do Facebook just because life log. I know exactly what it's about. I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah, no.
You
The
know?
only reason I do it is because a lot of the viewership that is interested in this kind of conversation, they seem to migrate to Facebook. I mean, you know, so I guess in order for them to be able to find some sort of a conversation, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I do agree with you. Religion is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
And it isn't my right to say whatever. I
yeah,
have my beliefs and I'm
yeah,
going to be proud in my beliefs, but I don't go to church.
right.
I just read the Bible
Yeah,
and like what Jesus happens to say.
right.
And because
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think he says anything about hating other people or any of this
No,
nonsense. You do what
nope.
he was accepting, and that's I like that. I
Exactly
like
it.
that. It doesn't it's something that I have an affinity with. It's not going to the church, because going to the church, even though I like the principle of the bells ringing and that kind of stuff, because that
Yeah,
I think that is
yeah.
something within ourselves that keeps us grounded to know that we're not. The hubris of humanity is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Do you want me to throw something at you though? So someone was really pissed off the other day, and rightfully so. The call to prayer thing that was going on, and I agree with that. I hate the call to prayer. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a
Mm-hmm.
moment. But so then I asked them. I said, "But it's okay to hear church bells to make you go run to church, right? Both of them are constructed there to make you compliant. It's
Yes.
time to come to church. It's time to come pray,
Yes.
right? So those are two things. I understand what you're saying. The church bells are kind of, but through movie, they seem to have been that construct of, well, what a beautiful sound. I love the sound of bells, but it's no different than a call to prayer in theory.
It
I
is.
don't. It
Sure.
may offend people when I say that, but it is a calling, and I don't like anything that makes me have to drop everything and come running when this sound happens, right?
That's
Except for a
true.
fire
But the
alarm.
principle, I think that is a strong one to hold on to, and it doesn't
Yeah,
matter what religion you are. That something is much greater than ourselves, and we're never going to be that. And don't even go there. Don't even try.
yeah. No, I
I mean,
understand.
this world is getting ripped apart with people
Yeah,
trying to prove that they're more powerful than God.
yeah,
Fuck
yep.
you, man.
No,
You know,
it's
we're
the
good and we
Tower of
have our
Babel
own
all over
power
again,
and we
right?
do our own things.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you. And if you understand that, I don't know. I like the description of source, whether you call it God or whatever, but we all come from a source or from something. And again, this just because I want to park it and I don't want to get into um, the divisiveness of, oh no, it's this or it's that.
Well,
Let's
I'm
just
not
call it something
divisive.
simple.
I'm not
Yeah.
divisive. Everybody does their own
So,
thing.
right.
I'm libertarian on like libertarian.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of how do you know, how do you think that and that's where I feel that these folks that are running all these different groups, the Bilderberg, Rothschilds, I think they're almost trying to challenge to be God.
Yes,
I
the
think they
hubris of man.
feel they are greater than God, right?
Yeah.
Than source, than whatever you want to call it. But it's asinine to think that you somehow can, oh, look at, I can manipulate the weather. Can
Yeah.
you though?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Do
You're going
you
to
not
manipulate the
think that
stars.
if this earth wanted to get rid of every single one of us, do you not think it could do that
Mm-hmm.
in a second?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly think that we can control climate
Yep.
for us? This is where I think people lose their mind, like the whole climate alarmism. Who the hell do you think you are
Yep.
saying that we need to control it? What a bunch of
The
crazies out
hubris.
there,
Yep.
right?
The hubris to
Oh, I got to
actually
tax you
consider.
so we can control the weather. Are you out of your friggin' mind?
They don't. They
What?
don't. They don't work for us. They don't work
Ah,
for me.
no. Well, I work for me, and I hope to find people that are like-minded like me. I really enjoy our conversations. Actually, we had a couple before, and I enjoy it. I feel that we're really, we're on the same page on a lot of the things, and
I
and
think.
I
I
find
think
it's great.
most people that
Yeah,
are not going to be the ones standing on dots and completely submissive
yeah,
to this hierarchy, which we have given power to, over to, the people, I think, generally are thinking all along the same lines. We all have added or opinions and assholes. My granddad used to say, everybody's got one, but we see common interests and common good. And those are the ones that we should agree upon and surround ourselves with that. And also improving who we are as people. Because
every day. I mean, that you're in school every day. I teach my daughter this. You know, she always tells me, Dad, I hate school, right? She's in high school now, and she says, it sucks. People are assholes, right? And I said, well, that's the whole point. They're assholes because you haven't learned the lesson that they're offering to you. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I said, okay, so give me an example. She says, well, this one person, you know, she'll always make fun of this or other people. And I said, why do you feel that they do that? Well, because they're an asshole. I said, no, it's probably because themselves, they don't feel adequate. So they want to knock everybody else's towers down to their level. And she says, well, I never thought about it like that. I said, yeah. So now that you see it that way, how do you feel about that person? Still an asshole? And she says, well, Dad, no, I kind of feel sorry for them. I said, exactly. So it's what you focus on and how you see things, right? I'm not saying that you go over there, but when someone comes in and they're in a crappy mood, right? I you know, again, I've taken leadership courses in my job. I'm here to mentor people. Someone comes in and they're off and they're just bitchy. The first thing I want to say to them is, you know, I kind of noticed you're not getting done what you need to do. You know, is there something I can help you with? Are you feeling okay today? Is something going on? You know, how can I help you? Rather than saying, you suck, right? You suck. This is all wrong. You're an idiot.
Which that person just went from probably a -7 now to a -9.
Yeah, because I'm down and you just kick
everybody else around them.
Yeah, exactly. And you're feeling like an ass. I mean, so it's observation. It's a matter of understanding the situation. And sometimes it is just that. Someone comes in, banging on the table, calling you an idiot. Well, I don't think I can help you. And your conversation and you're not adding value, right? I'm talking about streams. I've seen that before too. So those kinds of people, I do kick them out right away because you're not adding value. You're just here to cause, you know, you're stirring up the shit, right?
Agent provocateurs.
Exactly.
Some of them are paid to do that.
I wouldn't doubt
it. Sounds tinfoil, but it's absolutely true. They're just there to cause divisiveness and problems. Why do that? Why do that?
I have no idea.
If a person, I don't care if they disagree with me or not. I like to hear what they have to say. That's why I don't. That's why I don't kick people out. I know there's a couple comments on there right now, and I will not talk about them on some videos, but I won't cite them. But you know, simply because if people see them, then just see them. But I'm not going to delete them. I want to hear somebody else's opinion. Bring me what you got, and maybe I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to be like, oh my god, I'm totally wrong.
I like to leave them there, opinions like that for all to see. If you're brave enough and man enough or woman enough to put it out there, then it should stick so that people have, they can make their own moral compass tuned in. They can look at that and either resonate with it or say, well, that was really a shitty thing to say. And then when they see that person in the chat and I'm ignoring them, then they know why. They get it. Oh, I remember that guy. He made this comment or she made that comment. And I don't hold it against them. That's your opinion. And that's where you are in life. You have to deal with that. That's not my problem.
That's right? Exactly right. Exactly right. And people naturally, and hopefully we'll return to that somewhat too, where they will be also brave enough to say, listen, I don't respect that. That's not something I like in my world. You're entitled to have that opinion, but I'm going to call you on it, you know, because that if you can't play in the sandbox, you better get out.
You're absolutely right. I don't know. It's just tough. I see AJ, these guys are both idiots.
What?
Hey, he's mucking around, AJ. Both these guys are idiots. He's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
I said thank you. I said thank you.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
We love you too, man. That's good fun. But no, it's someone else said something here too. I just wanted to, our myth there lies, because they addressed it at me, so I was going to address it here. I don't trust people who won't call me retarded when I say and do retarded shit. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's exactly it. I mean, that's a real friend. You know, when you got the dangler or something on your lip or something on your teeth, a friend's going to come up and say, "Oh, you got, right?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I love you, man. Thank you for that." Right. But the others are going to be like, "Oh, I just don't want to hurt his feelings. Don't worry about my feelings." Just,
that's so true. The truth.
Exactly.
I always say to girlfriends, you know, I'm going to tell you if you look fat in this pants.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
If you can't handle it, then this ain't going to work out, right?
Because I don't want you to feel like you know, I'm not going to lie to you and pump up crap. The lying has to stop. It
is. Yeah. So full circle on the lying, and that's exactly why, if we could go back to the beginning, kind of, I know we veered off a long ways, but that's my whole purpose. And I want to hold all these people to account, you know, with the whole construct of you know, the system of the government today. If you won't tell the people the truth about it, why should people support you? Right? Really, that's what it comes down to in my mind. I hit every person out there that's going to be, you know, I want to be an MP. All right. Well, are you going to tell the public the truth? Yeah. Are you going to tell the public that they're going to be stolen from and that you are promoting that? No? Okay. So should I tell them that you won't tell them the truth? Right. Okay. I see. Let people decide. That's my motto here. I mean, if you tell them and they still want to vote, they still want to play in the casino, fair enough.
Yep.
You put your pants on and you made the decision. But not telling them is you being the gatekeeper for them, right? Well, they can't handle it. It's not fair. I can't do that to them. The cognitive dissonance, they'll hurt, they'll crash. They need to crash. Everybody does.
Yep. Yeah. You got to be, I welcome criticism. I do. Yeah. As long as it's constructive. As long as it's constructive. If you just want to use ad hominem attacks on me for no reason, I don't really, then I'm just going to ignore you because it doesn't really mean a lot. But if you come at me and you're like, listen, you did this wrong, or not that you did this wrong necessarily. I mean, obviously there's a way to verbiage it. Well, yeah, you do it wrong. Fine. You can say that. And here's why. Here's why. I have my evidence to show you why. And then I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know.
Absolutely.
Feelings have got so much fucking weight. Silver is saying here. Feelings. I mean, when did feelings, the male-female brain, I think, is what's going on here, right? And it's not critical on females at all. There's a male brain that's very logical and very guttural and carnal. And there's a female brain that is very feeling, emotional, loving, empathetic. Lots of great things about both. But if you have that pendulum and it swings too far to either extreme, you've got a problem. And it's swung really far into the female end right now, which is not one post-factual.
Actually, I'm finding that in this, they've screwed everything all up. You know, you look at, probably a lot of Gen Xer men, for instance, and moving forward, you know, the mums said, well, geez, back in the day, dads were assholes. So I'm going to teach you how to be a good little boy. I'm going to teach you how to be an empathetic man. You will not treat a woman like this. So then men, that pendulum started to swing to the feminine side.
Yep.
I was watching
masculation.
And it doesn't make them a bad person. It just takes away what you look at when kids grow up. They need masculine, they need feminine, and it
They
needs to
do.
come from its proper place.
They do.
Right?
Mom and dad. That's why there's
Absolutely.
two.
That's the dynamic here. I was watching a dad with his kids, and if I would have blindfolded myself, I would have thought it was a mom, and I'm like, dude, where's the kid falls down, and it's like, oh, honey, it's okay. I hate to say it, but the man's like, get up, boy, let's go. Scrape that shit off of you. Let's go. Come on. Are you hurt? No, let's go.
It
But they
worked
don't
well
see
for
that
thousands of
side.
years.
Yeah. Right. They don't see that side.
They don't see that side. They
Right?
don't see that side. But that has been, once again, heavily promoted psychological warfare.
Absolutely. Well, it takes away the nucleus of the family, right? You're the atomic, family, if you will, is being separated by psychological warfare as well.
Yep,
right?
Absolutely.
You're a man, but you think you act like a woman. It's not. I'm not attacking people, but understand that if you don't have a man that acts like a man, where did they get that from?
Yep.
Where, I'm not suggesting that you got to be an asshole, but there is a masculinity of a man that needs to be educated with your kids. A boy needs to understand you're masculine. That's it.
Yes.
You're feminine as a woman. And those are rich values. They're not to be perceived as a weakness.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. And, the male masculine side gets tempered with the female side.
Absolutely.
And the feminine side gets emboldened with the man side,
right?
The male side.
Right.
These are great things.
Yes.
I mean, clearly some think tanks were sitting around in the background a long time ago and thinking, how can we destroy this wonderful thing that we've got going? We'll make females feel like they're shit.
Right.
Well, get out of here. My mom is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, you have to encourage them to be who they are, right? And I just find so many women, and North American women, I'm gonna, I'm painting a large, a brush stroke here. So please don't, if you're not, it's fine, whatever the case is. But I'm finding a lot of men are frustrated now because they want to be masculine, but so do the women.
Yeah.
They want to take up the role. No, just sit down and how do I trained my man. You hear that all the time. I trained my man. What's this training stuff?
Yeah.
Right? We're not here to be your slave. We're not here to be, and the same goes the other way.
Yep.
I'm going to say that the men are not there to train the women.
No.
You're there to enhance each other.
Yep.
Simple, right? One should not overpower the other. The man goes out there and he's an asshole and he's talking from his ego-sided brain, blah, 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 blah. The woman's going to take him aside and say, you're kind of being a dick, right? Do you understand what's going on? Have some empathy. That's how this works, right?
Yeah.
And then you look and go, oh man, yeah, what was I thinking? I was enraged. I wasn't thinking. That's right. You weren't, idiot. Now go apologize. Right? That's the job that we do for each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then someone picks on the woman and says, look, blah, blah, blah. Well, then that's where the masculine comes in and says, I think you better shut your pie hole right now, my friend. Right?
Yeah.
That's my spouse you're talking to. Right?
There's
and or you're going to, and then she's going to be able to say, you screw off. I got this now. Right? But you were the catalyst to teach her too that it's okay to stand up for yourself, and then she will from that point on. Right?
And celebrate both
Absolutely.
sides. I don't know why it's bad for a man to be strong. I don't know why it's bad for a woman to be motherly and loving.
And the same goes with each other. You have both sides in you. When a man goes to his children, they are empathetic as well. They can be nurturing as well, but also enhanced by the woman too, right? I mean, we see that and we learn from our wives or spouses, whatever the case is, or mothers.
Yes.
We learn and say, man, I really like the way mom treated me there. I'm going to treat my children like that.
Yep.
So it's a balance. It works out. But what they're doing now, I'm a feminist and I'm proud. What does that even mean?
Yep.
What does that mean? Right? Just be proud to be here. Be grateful, for crying out loud. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we've gone off topic here, but the psychological warfare is on everything we do. They are testing us one way, shape, or form, suggesting
Abusing
that
us.
yes, we're a friggin' lab experiment.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Son of Rambo's comment.
Yeah. There was a time when I was a boy trapped in a woman's body. Then I was born. I don't know. I mean, everybody's got different thoughts on these things, but I just try to look at it from I've tried to learn a lot about psychology as well. I've tried to learn a lot about the, I don't know how the human brain functions, understanding fear motivated thought versus critical thought. All of these things, and I'm really working hard to understand that. And for me, it's that is the greatest defense that I will have against any of this construct that they're trying to build, the dichotomy of feminism, the dismantling.
Think tank garbage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree. Yeah. And common sense and critical thinking can return if we want it to.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of thought process here, and again, personal responsibility. I really am strong on personal responsibility. I've never respected anybody who isn't willing to admit their faults and isn't willing to change them, and equally in the same breath isn't willing to say that to somebody else in a polite, constructive criticism way.
Just respect.
Call them on their garbage, because this is it is a sense of adaptation. Every generation is getting slightly better, and isn't that the way it's supposed to be? We're supposed to our kids are supposed to have a better life than we did. They're supposed to learn a little bit more.
It's
grow.
Yeah, it's a school. It's life is an education in itself. I mean, it's just difficult, right? That people don't get that. They just, well, why does that happen to me, right? And I love pointing this out. It's the obvious to me when someone's, someone will bitch and complain. I keep finding the same woman or the same man, and I said, well, haven't you learned the lesson yet? And they look at you like, piss off.
The definition of insanity.
Yeah,
to keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting
something you're doing is attracting that person. Figure that out before you go out there. Figure out what it is you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And eventually they go and they figure it out in themselves, and then it's like, damn, thank you. That was the best advice ever. I hated you for it, but you're right. It was me, not them. I was attracting that. It wasn't their fault. They were there. I had the wrong lure. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Courage and honesty.
Yeah. If you're authentic, and I say this to people, that you can tell an authentic person by many ways, but one of the things I look at is, for instance, people at work or people in different situations. If they're the same person they are there as they are at home, that's an authentic person. I mean, you're going to change a little bit of your demeanor, of course. I mean, you're not going to be, maybe if you're a little more crude at home, maybe you change yourself. I mean, AJ is kind of different. He can do what he wants. He's always the same guy no matter what. But, the point is they're authentically who they are. You don't answer that phone and get that, hi, how are you? And then at home, they're a real, rah, rah, rah. That's two different people. That's not authentic at all, right?
Yeah.
So they're hiding something, right? It's a complete mask.
I don't understand where honesty went.
I don't know either.
People have just accepted dishonesty and partake in it.
Yeah.
I am completely intolerant of dishonesty.
Yeah.
Like really intolerant of dishonesty. You lie to me. Wow. Everything now is suspect.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. I mean, it's you're afraid to offend someone else. But they have to deal with how they react. Another lesson I try to teach my daughter about that is, well, Dad, if I say that, they're going to be mad at me, Okay, well, but then they know where you stand and they have to deal with why they're mad at what you heard.
Mhm.
Are they mad because they know it's the truth? Are they mad because you're telling them something they don't want to hear? Why are they mad? But that's on them to figure out. Whereas they can look at it and walk away and say, fine, I need a moment to process that. I'm not going to hold it against you. And now they can come back and say, no, I don't agree with what you said because of this. Or they can say, thank you, right? Two ways to look at it, but it doesn't happen anymore. We don't have that kind of conversation. People aren't, truthful.
Feelings again. It's feelings.
Yeah, it
Everybody's
is. It's an ego-based brain, right?
Yeah.
When your ego's in the driver's seat, everything offends people. Everything is all about not offending people. You want to make sure your house is clean because if someone comes and visits, you're more worried about what they think than you are about your own self. If they're there to visit you, they don't care what your house looks like. If they're there to see who you are, they don't care what you're wearing.
Yep.
When you go to church, if you're authentically going to church to celebrate or to learn, you don't need to bring out the Rolex watch and the suit, right? That's one of the things I hated so much about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they do. Oh, it's a respect for Christ. Do you think Christ cares if you're wearing a Rolex watch? Do you think so? No.
God loves everybody.
Absolutely. So it's just a weird dichotomy that's been created out there.
Psychological warfare. Think
Absolutely.
tanks.
Yeah.
Think tanks. I'm a ginger. I offend everyone.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Humor. Humor is another thing that's kind of gone out of the world, which is sad. It's sad. And again, that's thin-skinned stuff. You can't laugh at one another, each other, and laugh at ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I have no issue with that. And I think it's good. That's why I say, I look at AJ, he comes and he brings out the, some of the comments and I get a kick out of it just because you understand where he's coming from. He's just trying to look at things a little bit lighter. Extinct because nobody wants to. Well, and there you go. There you have it, right? The short bus comment, actually, not a lot of somebody didn't understand that the short bus is, for special folks.
Special folks.
Yes.
Is it white?
Let's just say maybe learning challenged people.
The person I always say the person who drives the white bus is probably the most loony of them all.
Yeah, no doubt. I can remember. I can remember back in the day. I lived in a rural area. When I was little, it took me an hour on a bus to get to school. But the bus driver, man, I always wondered why he was such a dick. But now that I see, young kids on a bus, I'm thinking, yeah, like there was days he'd just pull the bus over and, turn around and silence. Nobody talks.
Oh, that's a lawsuit in the making. You're hurting my child's feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Well, back then it was okay, but could you imagine today? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, parents understood that back then. They said, well, what did you do? Which isn't exactly the right question to ask, but understandably so, kids can get a little bit out of hand and holy cow. I got to concentrate on getting us to school and you guys are on my last nerve. I get it. Maybe not the right way, but I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, they learn not to keep going around pissing on everybody else.
Yeah. That's true.
Somebody, you stand up with them early on in life and you say, no, that's not the right way to behave. Yeah. This is the way to be respectful.
Yeah, that's the line and you crossed it, right? But there is no line anymore. The line has been shoved so far back where we, I've talked about this before, where actually parents empower their kids to be disrespectful, right?
Yes.
I do everything for my kids, they say, but you're actually teaching them that love is unconditional, love is this, love is that. But you've lost the hierarchy here. Yes. I'm sorry, but you're the child and you're here to be educated by the parent. The
Yes.
parent comes first, right? The
It
couple
was
is
made that way, eh?
exactly. The binding unit is the couple. They become first. The kids are secondary. The minute you remove that hierarchy, the woman now puts the kids in front of her spouse, right? And says, well, my kids are everything to me. Well, then you've now basically shit on your spouse and said, oh, well, where do I fit in this? Somewhere below the dog. Well, thank you, right? It's just, that's another thing that's been taught in today's society, right?
Yeah, no, I went to a parenting class once, and they were talking about disciplining a child, and they said,
Yeah.
well, you discipline the child, and then you give the choice to the child, do they want to be disciplined or not? I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind, man?
No.
Are you serious? Of course the child's going to say, no, I don't want to be disciplined. What do you do then?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you just accept it. I'm like, yeah, okay, so they just learned zip.
Yeah. Well, no, they did learn an important lesson, that there's no accountability, right? That's what they learned.
No accountability.
Yeah. Right.
Again, these things have been lost.
Yeah.
Why is it that our grandparents knew so much better and did so much? It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
It should be every generation is improving upon it.
100%.
We've just gone completely downhill.
Downhill. Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying our parents, our grandparents, whatever, they had it right.
Nope.
Somewhere in the middle of that is probably pretty good. But we've, the whole participation ribbon era.
Yeah,
that's where we lost everything. They really screwed over society with that whole, oh, everybody should get a ribbon. And then there's the parents that say, well, it's Susie's birthday, but I give some to Ralph here too, because Ralph feels left out. Well, Ralph should understand that it's Susie's special day, not Ralph's special day. And he needs to be happy for Susie, not pissed off that Ralph isn't getting anything. Right?
Because he's going to have his special day too.
Ralph will have a special day, right?
And it would be
no, I just don't want to hurt any feelings. Well, then Susie gets ripped off.
Everything all the time, then when's a special day?
Exactly. Because Susie's, well, this is my birthday, not Ralph's, but that's what happens.
You remember those ads by The Brick? You remember The Brick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're always having a sale, right?
Yes, of course.
So, back in my drinking days, I used to do all kinds of fucking shit. Like I was just not, and I have a bad sense of humor anyways, it's a bit black. So I phoned up one day when I was drunk, and I'm like, are you guys having a sale today? They said, oh, absolutely. I said, is there any fucking day that you guys don't have a sale? The guy was like, well, actually, no, not that I can think of. And I'm like,
yeah.
So if you have a sale every day, how is it a sale? And then he was just kind of stuck.
Yeah. So this is actually your normal pricing then. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. It's not a sale. Just quit lying to people and telling people that it's a sale, because it's not. It's just manipulation.
Yeah. AJ, women taking over the educational system is removing competition. Well, I find that kind of funny, the dichotomy of that we need to equalize the workforce. But yet you look at who is running the media these days. Most of the newscasters are women. Most of the educational system is most women. They're being, I would agree with AJ on this, that there are a lot of them out there. Well, how come those aren't being out in the open and saying, we need more men newscasters because it's not equal? You've got all women out there.
Oh, men are horrible.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Who owns the mainstream media?
Yeah. Who owns the CBC? Yeah. You ever looked into that? Who's the CEO?
Oh, yes. Well, you see, they'll tell you one name, but then you look, there's another one that's floating around in the background. What is it? Board of Directors.
Susan Girl, wasn't it? Another
CBC. I want to see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? But they celebrate women and all these other things like some sort of superstar. But
see, they say, I don't know.
Catherine T. I thought there was Susan something in there, but
but is it Catherine Tate? No,
oh.
It's Mr. Goldblum.
Ah,
He's the true head, chairman of the board. But of course, if you go to Wikipedia, etc., they're going to tell you that it's Tate. But Mr. Goldblum is the one that makes the decisions.
Interesting.
Right? It's just more BSing.
Hmm.
But I won't go off into my regular. I think most people who know me long enough know my shtick.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. That's interesting, man.
It's lies and lies.
Yeah. Well,
they have names.
Just like everything out there, the construct is to pick. I don't know. If you look at it from let's take a family standpoint, you got a narcissistic parent. There'll be a golden child and a black sheep, and that there creates the division, and they get the supply they need. Put that out there to life, and you pick a golden child company, and you shit on the rest, right? That creates a division they need. Mm-hmm. That company does everything they need for them, and then the rest of them being pissed off, that gives them all the supply they need to, well, this one will be successful, and the rest of you all, I don't care, right? Bombardier, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Loblaws getting fridges, but nobody else gets anything. It's okay. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
That's the way it all works. It's again, it's like yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not going to. Sorry.
No, I know you're chomping at the bit here.
I have a mission. But my mission is not. I'm going to leave that one aside for now.
It's that's the other part too. I try not to dabble down like you said. You gotta. If you're going to play the game, you got to play within the rules and beat them at their own game, mm-hmm. which is definitely what I'm trying to do. Why would I want to go ahead and prove to myself that I can get a strike? Sure, I can if I want to, but why would I give them the ammunition to do it?
You see, but they've never given me a strike ever.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because almost everything I say is true.
Is factual, yeah. As long as you can back it up. Sometimes it doesn't even matter, though.
That's true.
Depends on what you're saying.
I was shocked to hear you. Are you familiar with Just My Stupid Opinion?
Yeah.
I was shocked to hear that he had strikes. He'd gotten strikes before.
Really?
I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because he doesn't dabble it too much into murky waters. Mm-hmm. And he's gotten strikes before. But you see, if you're factual and you believe the truth. By the way, thanks very much for making me bring up that CBC page, because I'm sure that will cause this video to get banned.
It shouldn't. Why would it? You brought up a web page, so what? I mean,
listen, if they're going to report me for having 1 minute and 16 seconds and get the video banned, that's above and beyond copyright. They actually had the video banned because I played their stuff.
Well, then what I typically do at the end of the day here, and we can mention that right here, that was brought up for educational purposes. And under the law, we're allowed to do that, to have, political discourse over it and decide, have some opinions on it. So we're showing this to everybody, not for content, but for us to talk about it and educate people on it and form opinions on it. So
this is a non sequitur argument, though, to say that the people's media is going to ban you. The people are showing the video of the people's media, and they're going to ban you. I'm like,
which makes no sense. I highly agree with you on that. It's hypocrisy at its best. We paid for the content to begin with out of our taxes. Then they say it's their content. They own it. I'm sorry, who pays your paycheck? Right? I've actually had videos taken down for showing my own videos on them, for crying out loud.
Oh, they banned my own comments in my live chat.
Oh, okay.
Numerous times. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Because I
this is my content. Yeah,
Because
it's
I
your
use StreamYard,
content.
I can see what I'm typing, right?
Yeah.
And it'll come up pink and it'll say, this comment has been rejected by YouTube. Try rephrasing it. And I'm like, are you
You're
serious?
kidding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You go back in some of my videos. I'm like, why did my comment just get banned?
What the?
Craziness. It's
I have, that's a new one for me. It's a new one for me. Wow. That's crazy. I don't know. After every friggin' video, I put that little disclaimer too. I don't know if it helps or not, but it's just the, the copyright, for educational purposes. We can basically take this and talk about it, right? For educational purposes.
for educational purposes.
I
I used to
could
put
probably
those in,
read it
but
out.
they
Yeah,
don't
disclaimers.
care.
Well, they don't, but if they go to sue you, right? Here, this is the whole point. Now you can take that and say, but I put that disclaimer in here and I talk about it, right?
Mm,
So it is using their weapons against them.
that's true.
Fine. You can hide it and say, or you can demonetize it, which probably 80-90% of my stuff is demonetized anyway.
Oh, you still have a monetized channel.
It is. But I mean, in theory, unless I put something that is all just like, even if my streams, if I show nothing but just talk, it gets demonetized.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We're sorry, but you said some words in there. And so every time, just to piss them off, I have a manual check. I know they're going to come back and say no, but just to here, your resource, you're wrong, and I'm going to use the resources you gave me to tie you up as much as I can, because you're trying to, but they still run the ads and they collect the money.
Oh,
they just say you don't get any of it.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, I'm good for me, because it's only 60 cents that I would get anyways off of a stupid video. Right.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what they make off of it, but really it's all for naught. I should just take it all off, because it does nothing for me.
Well, if you keep talking, they will just demonetize your channel.
Well, whatever, go for it, and that's fine. I have other ways to. Eventually, what I think I would do, and I was going to talk to you about this. I'm trying to get a channel going, or a web page, right? So we can do that.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I said that. I'm in.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in. I've been talking to, a few guys over here too.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not, I've been quasi hesitant about doing that to begin with, though I did suggest that a long time ago, was because I don't want to offend anybody, right? I don't want to, another group over there, right? Yeah. And I don't, because those guys are all, a lot of them are my friends, but I don't want to piss them off by saying, oh, listen, I'm part of this or whatever, Yeah,
and I if you're talking about the the platter, I have talked to Derek about it, and he said that he was looking into it. But I mean, like I said, the reason I did it is because I'm not about to tell him you should do this, right? And that's what I explained to him. I said I'm not trying to drive your website one way. I'm just going to do it. And I mean, if you beat me to it, great. Then we'll just. But the point is, then I have a. I just want kind of an open source for everybody to go to. And, I don't need it to be called something. It can just be a platform of open source, kind of like a YouTube, but the web page first, right? Yeah. So I don't want to offend him by inviting this person. I know he kind of controls that. So that's why I was kind of doing it outside of that. It's not, I'm fine to be a part of that website and the group. If we stream over here, then everybody can just do it. And if you have a problem with the YouTube or any other platforms, then we can just do it there, and then save them over to BitChute, and then people can just view it.
Yeah, the only I know that I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it, which probably should do at some point. But the only thing is that my views are my views, just as everybody else's views are everybody else's views, and I don't want to be censored. Let's say I can't talk about certain things. You know?
I understand.
Everybody should be entitled to whatever the hell they want to say. Agreed. And I think it should be a scheduled thing, so people have times for the
Yeah,
most part. And if there's other things going on with other
Yeah.
people's lives, then they can do whatever too. Or if they want to stream
Mhm.
at some time that there's
Yeah.
openings or whatever. That were my thoughts.
I was kind of thinking it would be more like, if you will, almost like a Facebook. So each of us has a page.
Okay.
You do what you want on your page, and you take accountability for your own page, right?
Okay.
So those are your opinions. They're not everybody else's, and agreed. I agree with that 100%. So if someone was to say, "Oh, that website," no, well, that's just that page. Critical Thinker, he said this, and he's accountable for that. We all agreed that, and we may not have the same views, right?
Yep.
And so that's the way I see it being fair moving forward. Because we're not always going to agree on everything, that's for sure. But
Really?
what I do agree with, yeah, really. But I feel that we need a space. Each one of us needs a space. And I think it would be a conglomeration of, if you will, it's almost like that. I hate to use but you know what I mean. A directory of all the YouTubers in one. You go to the website. What's Seamus doing tonight? What's Critical Thing? What's Steve doing? It's all right here. Who's live right now?
Yep.
Well, you can choose which one you want to watch.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's sort of a thing. So it doesn't inhibit anybody to a time, because myself, I'm all over the place.
Okay.
My windows are everywhere. But I don't know. It's something we can talk about more offline, because I don't want to. But I'm interested to hear what people are thinking. We might even have room for a bigot like AJ in there, if he wants to come in and say something. But I don't know.
He's going to get off the bus?
I'm not sure. Like, he'd have to shave his beard, because there's certain ideologies that I don't really, and I feel he's that. So I'm not big on that. We're going to censor the beard thing. No beards.
No beards?
Well, I don't know. Ones that look like that.
No.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I guess I have to put the first comment in first, and then the second.
I'm divisive. Yeah.
Careful, man. Careful.
Hey,
parentheses.
This is Seamus's channel, and I don't think you should be putting him in danger of a strike here. Come on now, putting all that stuff in here, AJ. You're nothing but a crap disturber, man. Like,
yeah, I know. He's got to be one of those agent provocateurs coming over.
I think so. I think he's a paid opposition, right? Coming in here to just. He never adds value to any conversation. He's always just, I don't know. Oh, what's he got? Got to ask, how much is a pack of cigs?
I don't know.
I
don't really ask questions.
It's not worth anything. It's fiat currency. So really, what is it worth?
There you
Nothing.
go.
Zero.
Paper.
Yeah.
Whatever paper costs.
Yeah, whatever you value it at. It's all, was talking to. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's no. Anyway, we're just.
There's some banter going on, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I wasn't even paying attention to what you said, AJ. I was just poking fun at you. I'm just poking fun at you, bud.
I thought he was calling me that.
Oh, yeah, no. I guess I didn't even see it in the chat, so I was just, I like to throw a little bit of salt in the wounds every now and then.
Oh yeah, no.
What comes around goes around, and AJ runs the MB office of season. That's funny. I was watching his video the other day about him doing the roofing video, and it was kind of good. It's actually kind of a cool thing. I like to see people on a, not just doing this. It's cool to see people on a personal level doing what you're doing, and I'm sure he's good at what he does, and but he was that's exactly what I'm talking about. He was still AJ doing his job. He's still the same person out there. So that I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
That's true.
He's the same guy on the roof or behind the camera. It's AJ.
Hey, listen, isn't that the only way to be genuine?
For sure. They say Muhammad was a ginger. Some say the guy is doing British Israelism. I'm not sure. Huh.
We're venturing into other territories.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going, but
sorry, I hope that's true. What he says is true.
Yeah. Interesting.
Says it verbatim. Very white too, apparently. Yeah. Very white.
Interesting.
Milky.
Interesting. Right? Huh.
I don't know what that's all about, but
yeah. That's a different stream. That's a different stream altogether here.
That's a different stream. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Do you have any thoughts, final thoughts? Or
no, that's it. This was a fantastic stream. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Don't worry, it'll get banned.
I hope not. I hope not, because I think it was pretty good. A lot of good conversation in here.
That's what they don't like. So I mean, but what can you do? We had some good times with whoever all has been in here, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I always enjoy speaking to you because it's just good. It's good times, thought provoking. Bounce things off, learn things.
For sure. Yeah,
teacher,
for sure.
Right? Life is school.
Well, life is school, absolutely. So, and the same goes with you. I mean, we talk about things, we look at different perspectives, and hopefully you're better for it at the end of the day.
I'm going to have to study this background a little bit more. You're sending me satanic garbage.
This here? This? Oh, it's not satanic. It's not.
Somebody's going to point that out. They're going to be like, that's satanic.
This here is big time art. It's actually art. It's been replicated many, many times. There's nothing satanic about it. It's the thinker at the gates of hell, right? That's all it is.
I like thinking.
Right back there, right beside right here. There's thinker, right? Somewhere right there. There he is.
There you go.
And this is the gates of hell, right? And the construct is really, what are we doing here? He's just looking at people, studying them as they come in through the gates of hell. Like, what's going on? What are you doing?
Well, as long as we can get ourselves out of it, I'll be appreciative.
Okay. Well, that's well. If you've walked through the doors already, I'm not sure.
I was born into this. I didn't ask.
I think we're at the gates. You have to make the choice to walk through, my friend.
That's true.
Everybody's choice.
That is true. It is a personal choice.
Yeah.
This is all personal choice. All of it.
The thinker is not there. He's just wondering, hey, really? Is this the best choice for you? That's the whole purpose of again, it's an all interpretation, right? It's art.
Yeah.
But you can look it up. Thinker at the Arts of Gates of Hell. I know. But satanic, it's beautiful. I like the red tinge. That's kind of I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to keep you, but
all right. Thanks very much for joining me. Thanks everybody, and I don't know. Hopefully this won't get banned.
Yeah, it won't.
Right.
It won't.
I'll talk to you later then.
All right, man.
Thanks for joining me. Thanks very much.
Right.
Thanks everybody.
Take care, man. All right.